the woman who succeeded Nicolas Maduro as the country's interim leader. CBS's Olivia Gazis.
CBS has previously reported that the CIA had a small team operating clandestinely on the ground in Venezuela as early as August to lay the groundwork for Maduro's capture. The meeting came the same day that President Trump hosted Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Corina Machado at the White House.
Federal and local lawmakers are holding a hearing in Minneapolis where there's been no let-up to anti-ICE demonstrations despite the threat of more federal force. Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison.
As he contemplates the Insurrection Act, please know that we do not need federal authorities to help us maintain order. We need them to stop doing things. That is what is needed in this situation, and that is what we're demanding in our lawsuit.
President Trump today with a tariff threat as he focuses on the U.S. gaining control of Greenland.
I may put a tariff on countries if they don't go along with Greenland because we need Greenland for national security, so I may do that.
The European nations have sent some troops to Greenland as a show of support for Denmark. A U.S. congressional delegation is in the country. Alaska Republican Lisa Murkowski.
When you ask the American people whether or not they think it is a good idea for the United States to acquire Greenland, the vast majority, some 75%, will say, we do not think that that is a good idea.
A Tehran cleric called for arrested demonstrators to be executed today during Friday prayers in Iran. The BBC's Hugo Bachega has more on the tense situation.
There's still this internet blackout, so it is very difficult to get a clear picture of what is happening inside Iran right now. But the information that is coming out, and this is also the assessment of officials outside Iran, is that no large protests are being held, and also that the pace, the rate of the killings of protesters by the security forces has dropped.
A federal judge has blocked the Trump administration from getting a copy of California's voter rolls.
The Justice Department asked all states to hand over their voter rolls last year, but only 10 agreed to do so. The judge in the California case found the administration has no authority to gain access to voter rolls. Maine Secretary of State Shenna Bellows refused to hand over her state's rolls.
Why on earth should the federal government, who has no role in election administrations, be compiling a federal voter file for every voter in our nation?
The Justice Department has not said if it will appeal the California ruling. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
The Dow is down 28. This is CBS News.
I'm Major Garrett. Follow and listen to The Takeout on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Coming up, we get you ready for tomorrow's Seahawks playoff game. But first to the real-time traffic desk. This report brought to you by Seattle Sports. We're actually in decent shape on this Friday morning. We just cleared a crash on 405 northbound at 167. It was partially blocking the ramp there. Backup is starting to clear. Your typical slowdowns, though, are still there through the S-curves on 405 northbound. Still, of course, dealing with the Revive I-5 mess, but Linwood to Seattle actually under 30 minutes right now. You do hit the brakes right around Northgates. Heading northbound into the construction zone, the backup start right around Mercer. Again, rest of the map, green. Tacoma to Olympia, you're cruising. The Lake Bridges look good, and Everett all the way down into Linwood looks good both ways. You can always listen to your favorite local sports content on the FM dial on 97.3 HD2.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Aaron Granillo. The city is buzzing on this Blue Friday.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
Hawks welcoming their division rival, the 49ers, to Lumen Field tomorrow night for a divisional round playoff game. Head coach Mike McDonald says the team is loose and focused.
Yeah, that's our quote-unquote how we roll around here, and that was kind of in meeting number one.
Now, with all the hype, there are worries about the health of Hawks quarterback Sam Darnold. He landed on the injury report yesterday with an oblique strain.
Just felt a little something and didn't want to, make it worse, and it was just a precautionary thing to be able to get in and get some rehab on it.
Darnold is still in line to play. Meantime, the 12th man flag will be flying high atop the Space Needle later this morning. Seahawks legends Walter Jones, Marcus Trufant, and Lofa Tatupu will raise the flag at 10 a.m. Catch all the action tomorrow night here on KIRO News Radio. Kickoff at 5 p.m. The Pierce County Sheriff is now being condemned by his peers. The Washington Association of Sheriffs and Police Chiefs says Keith Swank crossed a line yesterday when he ripped a bill that would ban masks for law enforcement.
Just for the record, my deputies don't wear masks, but once you pass this law that they can't, I will not only allow them, but I will encourage them to do so just to see what you do.
He was speaking directly to Senate lawmakers who introduced that bill. The Sheriff's Association says Swank's comments do not reflect its views and warns he could lose his spot in that group. Also in Olympia, city lawmakers are looking to protect more than just traditional families. KIRO Newsradio's Amanda Factor explains.
City council members will start drafting an ordinance that would cover polyamorous families and other diverse households. Council member Robert Vanderpool says the idea is to add family or relationship structure to protected groups in city code.
This is an expansion of civil liberties. This is not taking away anything. This is allowing more folks to have protections.
The council hopes to adopt the ordinance right before Valentine's Day. If passed, Olympia would be the first city in Washington with these protections. The Olympian reports only 4 other cities nationwide have similar laws. Amanda Factor, KIRO Newsradio.
Now to your forecast. The fog is starting to lift. We are in for a beautiful afternoon with mostly sunny skies, highs in the low 50s. Going to be like that through the weekend as well. Right now, looking at 42 degrees in downtown Seattle, I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Oh, yeah, it is Fresh Fridays here on the Gee and Ursula Show. Ursula, how come it seems like just me and you today? Just me and you. Everybody.
Because everyone is focused on prime time tomorrow.
Yeah.
How's that?
But, I mean, it's not just me and you. Shep is out today, but Paul... We love Paul. He's here today.
Yes.
And then Brady is in for Nick. Good morning, Brady.
Well, a couple of things are happening, though. Have you noticed a lot of people are sick?
Yeah.
The flu's going around.
Yeah, the flu.
COVID's going around.
So
are
you guys
there are a lot
back,
of people out.
Are you guys back to fist bumping again? Hey, we might have to start fist bumping again. By the way, later at some point in the show, Brady had a second date. So.
Yep.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Oh, unless I can just shut up.
Yeah.
All right. So what's going on the show today?
Well, you heard in Aaron's newscast, Pierce County Sheriff Keith Swank is back in the news. This time wasn't just for comments about masks.
Okay.
It was other comments that he made in Olympia that some lawmakers felt were threatening. We want to know what you are thinking about some of the things that he said, but you're going to hear them here in just a moment. We will have a former sheriff also join us at 9:30 to weigh in, because you and I were... even for this particular individual, shocked that I'll speak for myself. I was kind of shocked at where he went with this.
I'll say this. Even though I expect very little from him, the expectation, and there's a very low bar with him, I was shocked by what he said. However, something came to me last night, and I can't wait to share it with you.
Okay. Well, we're going to get into it because it is our top story. But the other top story, of course, is the Seahawks. Mm-hmm. And I've got to ask you about this new report that came out. So we've got a full show for you. Our text line is 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. Also want to say, Gee and Ursula Show Facebook page. Show us your Seahawks gear. Tell us what you're planning to do for the game. We've got a post there, and we want to hear from you.
Yeah. All right. Let's get to Ursula's top stories of the day, brought to you by Pendergast Law.
Okay, let's get into it about Keith Swank. Pierce County's controversial sheriff warned state lawmakers yesterday that thousands of people could flood a government building if they try to remove him from office. Keith Swank was testifying in Olympia against legislation that would expand oversight of elected sheriffs. It's something we talked about yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Some of my colleagues naively believe that they can come here and reason with you. They don't understand what's at stake here. They don't understand you like I do. You're going to pass this qualification bill for law enforcement, but you won't hold yourselves accountable. Therefore, I propose everyone who runs for an elected office go through a background check, a social media review, a polygraph, a psychological test. But Democrats, you won't agree to that because you have convicted felons who are elected officials here.
Now, during the hearing, he also told the state lawmakers that they don't have any authority over him.
I don't recognize your authority to impose these controls over me. And when you try to remove me from office, thousands of Pierce County residents will surround the county city building in downtown Tacoma and will not allow that to happen.
So, this bill would also make it illegal for most law enforcement officers to wear face covering masks during public interactions, and Swank took issue with that.
Just for the record, my deputies don't wear masks, but once you pass this law that they can't, I will not only allow them, but I will encourage them to do so just to see what you do.
Now, afterward, several lawmakers said those comments sounded like threats rather than political speech, but then Swank later claimed that that was not his intention.
So, by the way, I found it interesting that he made the comment that you should do background checks and you'll see that there are convicted felons inside the Democrats. I just thought that was interesting. I finally figured something out last night
what's that?
about Keith Swank. And I got to say that he's in a situation where he can't lose. He can't lose. And he is in a position where he actually wants them to try to take away his power. Like, it will make him even more powerful. I don't usually look at the comments, but I had some things sent to me last night by some folks on the inside, and then I started to pay attention last night, and I noticed something. Like, me and you and normal people, right? Are not used to seeing this type of behavior from a sheriff. And today, are we going to have John Urquhart here on the show?
Yes, he's going to join us at 9:30.
And we're going to have that. So we're not used to seeing that. Well, today is a new normal. Today, what you are seeing is, and what we're going to continue to see, Swank is in a situation where he cannot lose, and there are people that are ready to do whatever he says. So sometimes people might say, well, you can absolutely do nothing. The people voted for him, and as soon as everybody locks in, and the Sheriff's Association, we're going to take away that will make him even more powerful.
With some, which is why, to me, Swank's threats, and I thought they did sound threatening, and his outright dismissal of state law are the clearest argument as to why this legislation is necessary. He displayed it right there. So that is exactly why, even though he was elected, and that was the whole thing about this bill, it doesn't keep people from electing somebody. But if it's someone who turns out to be rogue, then absolutely there would be this very narrowly used, but something that could remove someone from office if they are no longer fit for office.
I had a very good conversation with somebody last night who is very connected and really, really showed me the light. And even though you're saying right now this is why that would be important, and I hear what you're saying, it's not even going to get to that because there's so many people that are against what you're saying. There are. There
were people who were saying, I love this, I love this. But there were a lot of people who were saying, this is not what I thought I was voting for.
Yeah, I'll admit, I'll raise my hand and say this to you. I underestimated Keith Swank.
Not me.
Well, no matter what people's opinions are, he will be the sheriff, or if he's Mr. Swank for the next 3 years. He can't be moved. So no matter what my opinion is or anybody else, and he also has power and influence over so many people. When you hear President Trump talking about sending troops here and sending troops there, understand he will have the protection and the love from the President of the United States.
I just also want to remind people, this is a guy who's already beefing with Pierce County leaders because he refuses to abide by state law. And after several decades at the Seattle Police Department, he was about to get fired for controversial social media posts, but he retired first. Now, I'm not going to relitigate, what those posts were, but I just ask folks who do live in Pierce County, do you feel like he is in this job for you and that he cares about you? Because I think there's a sliver, there's a narrow group that he, and I'm hearing everything that you're saying.
Yeah, I'm glad.
But I think he makes the best argument himself for why this legislation is needed. But I think you and I disagree.
Before you go, you asked a question, like you said, down in Pierce County, are there people that really believe that he is for you? I'm telling you,
there are
more than we think believe that he is for them. The whole normalcy and how things used to be, guys, we could throw that out the window. We are in a new day now. And what happens is it's like your parents leaving out of town and leaving control and keys to someone that's irresponsible. When you let them have the keys, they got the power. And he's going to have that for the next 3 years.
Yeah, so we'll talk to the former King County Sheriff, see what he thinks. And we want to know what you think. 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. So just weeks into the job, Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson rolled out her first 2 executive orders, one aimed at homelessness, the other at fixing one of what she says is the city's most frustrating bus routes. On the homelessness front, she's telling city departments to cut the red tape, find what's slowing down shelters and housing, fix it, and open more options, and do it faster. And that includes using city-owned land, tapping other public property, and expanding shelter capacity with help from regional and behavioral health partners. She also, though, has been under fire because she put a pause on this recent Ballard encampment removal, which was supposed to happen this week. And she says it was about trying to get a better outcome for the people who live there.
People understandably might not want an encampment near their business or near their residence, but if we're moving people along without actually getting them inside, then they're just going to another place and then they're going to be back.
And then her second order, G, takes on transit, specifically Denny Way and the chronically delayed Route 8.
I live up on Capitol Hill, fairly near to the Route 8 bus line, so that is my bus. Takes me to my daughter's daycare. So that's a bus that I'm very, very familiar with. I've ridden it for years and years.
Now, she says SDOT has until April 17th to come back with a plan for bus lanes or other transit priority fixes. She says this is just the start. She's got more action coming and urgency, especially ahead of the World Cup.
Great. Awesome. Are they going to paint? Are they going to make sure? What color are the lines going to be?
I have no idea.
Okay. I mean, sure. I mean, that's awesome. And as we can see, you live and work here in Seattle, you're looking forward to the next orders of business because it's going to have to be a continuation. I don't see anything negative about this.
The thing that's different between the two administrations is, one, Bruce Harrell was clear these encampments, even though we might not have the permanent shelter available, we're going to clear them because that's what he heard loud and clear, no pun intended, when he ran.
Yep.
And so he really tried to deliver on that promise. Now, Mayor Wilson is trying to do hey, we might have to leave these tents out here longer. And I think she clarified and said it would not include certain spaces, but we might have to leave it out longer and not do the clearing until we can actually get housing. I mean, so I am skeptical. I've made it clear I am skeptical because what we've been doing hasn't worked in the long run. Clearing encampments without enough shelter, we've talked about it, looks better, but it's really just moving the problem around. So in that sense, I do agree with her. But waiting for the perfect housing solution leaves too many people outside. I think that's inhumane. And I think it's, frankly, unfair for neighborhoods, businesses, et cetera. So I think that the answer is somewhere in the middle. Remove the camps right away. Create that real urgency to open up temporary shelter immediately. So if you can do both of those things at once, then I think that's closer to the answer.
I don't think that Katie Wilson was elected mayor and beat out Bruce Harrell because of people worrying about there being more tents in Seattle. I think the reason why she won, the number one reason, is affordability in Seattle, period. So my point is, if there's a possibility in the next year there's more encampments downtown, so that's a likely possibility. Matter of fact, I strongly believe that. I've already have heard, and you heard at the same time with me, that there are already more downtown.
Yes.
The number one thing that she was voted for is for affordability in Seattle. We will see what she is able to do to address that.
And some people who attended the news conference yesterday some of the reporters were asking and actually told me off the air that they felt like the concentration and the focus was really on those who are unhoused versus, okay, the impact it's having on businesses. And then when she was asked about it, yes, I understand there are concerns. I mean, if I'm living in Ballard and I was told this thing is going to go, this situation is going to be cleared and because there's drug dealing and all sorts of things going on, let's be honest, we would not be happy if we were told, well, we're not going to do anything with it just yet.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You would be hacked off.
Yep.
Okay, text us 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. Got to talk about it tomorrow night, the big moment, prime time, trip to the NFC Championship on the line, and now there's a little late week drama.
Yeah.
So I read this yesterday, and I texted you guys and was like, what the heck? Seahawks quarterback Sam Darnold popping up on the injury report?
Yeah.
So what do we know?
Oblique is kind of like a big toe. That's what it's like, meaning you don't find out how much control it has over the rest of the body until you hurt it. If you've hurt a big toe or you've done it oblique, I strained an oblique in college.
Yeah.
It hurts.
Ouch.
So let me just explain the situation that I only know what you all know. I saw what you saw as far as being questionable. Sam Darnold said he was throwing routes on air when it happened. And so obviously right now it's a mild strain. So, Ursula, I'm going to have you answer this question.
Okay.
First, let me set it up. In this case, I have known of a lot of players in the past that have strained their oblique. And what they do is they get that vitamin T, the Toradol, right? They get that shot. Right?
Okay, it numbs it?
Even though it's a muscle, it just kind of helps with the pain.
Okay.
And then you kind of go play. Sometimes it's cool. A lot of times it's even worse for the next week. So here's my question to you, Ursula. You are the decision maker, and you can't go 50-50 here. Would you rather Sam Darnold play tomorrow and risk the NFC Championship game and beyond? Or would you rather sit him this game, get a week of rest, and go with the backup quarterback?
My decision, he's playing tomorrow.
Okay.
If there's any chance, and text us if you think the same or not.
No, you're not wrong. Whatever you think.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the reason I say that is because we don't get past tomorrow. I mean, is there a big drop off if Sam Darnold is not playing?
I don't think so, and I'll tell you. I'll tell you guys why.
Okay, because it would be Drew Lock, right?
It would be Drew Lock. How many touchdowns has Sam Darnold thrown against the Niners this year? 0. The Seahawks are built not like the Buffalo Bills, not like the New England Patriots of the past, where you only concentrated on the quarterback. The Seahawks can beat you in many different ways. They have a run game. They have a very good defense.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
So,
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So Sam Darnold has never had to be great. When they went down and won 13-3 against the Niners, Sam Darnold threw for 0 touchdowns in that game. So
that's true.
I would rather go with Drew Lock tomorrow and then give my man the extra rest so that way NFC Championship and Super Bowl, he's ready to go. I do believe the Seahawks can win with Drew Lock.
But man, what kind of signaling does that have? And I told you, I said, if I were a betting woman, which I don't do sports betting, but I would say, man, if I know that, then I'm thinking, it was not the thing that you wanted to hear the day before, 2 days before this big game.
It reminds me, Ursula, of getting ready to have a big date at 5 o'clock on Saturday. And then she hit you with the text, say, hey, I might have to be rescheduled. I'm questionable. And it messed up your whole week. And by the way, Allie in Tacoma, you sent the wrong emoji. Oh, you sent the wrong emoji. All right. Happy Fresh Fridays, everybody. Coming up next, we're going to bring on Uncle John, former King County Sheriff John Urquhart. And we're going to play what Keith Swank said in Olympia yesterday. And you're going to hear his reaction in real time. We do that next. Gee Ursula.
Thanks for calling CM Heating.
Aren't you the company that gives away free furnaces?
That's us. Buy a qualifying high-efficiency cooling system and the furnace is free.
Wow.
Yeah, and our home comfort advisors are tax credit and rebate specialists, so they'll handle the rebate for you.
Go to CM Heating for better comfort, lower bills, and a free furnace you'll love for years. Get your free estimate for furnace replacement at cmheating.com. And remember, for furnaces, fireplaces, hot water, and total home comfort, including electrical, there's no beating CM Heating.
This winter, drive with confidence in a Subaru from Subaru of Puyallup. From rainy commutes to icy roads, Subaru's legendary all-wheel drive and advanced safety are built for our winters. Subaru of Puyallup is known for something even better, a stress-free car buying experience. No pressure, no games. Just friendly Subaru experts helping you find the right vehicle at the right price. Start shopping now and see our stress-free pricing exclusively at SubaruofPuyallup.com. Subaru of Puyallup, your stress-free dealership, part of the Harnish Auto family.
Well, I'm here with my good buddy, Dr. Dan Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine. And you've heard from Dr. Dan's patients over the years how a simple stem cell procedure has successfully conquered their pain. Well, folks, now it's my turn. After years of dealing with knee pain from all the football abuse, I can say my knee pain now is almost 100% gone. How'd you do it, Dr. Dan?
Well, Brock, personally, I'm very happy that you did so well. And your story is like so many of our other patients who come in, former athletes and non-athletes as well, who have come in with chronic knee pain, and they are looking for alternatives besides knee replacement surgery. And we're happy to provide this service. It's been truly a game changer for so many folks. It's just been a pleasure to be part of this.
Consider Dr. Nelson, the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, including stem cell therapy. I was in and out with a couple of follow-ups. It's a non-surgical solution to pain using your own stem cells. Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD at 425-823-4000 or visit DanielNelsonMD.com. That's DanielNelsonMD.com.
If you've been injured in a car accident, you have two choices: handle everything yourself or hire an experienced attorney. Go it alone, and you'll be on the phone with insurance adjusters, chasing medical records, fighting for lost wages, and trying to figure out what your case is really worth. Hire the right attorney, and they take all that off your plate so you can focus on getting better. Harold Carr Law Offices has a dedicated team of 48 people and more than 35 years of experience handling car accident cases right here in our community. Harold Carr Law Offices handles big cases and small ones while still treating their clients like family. Here's the difference they make. They save you time, reduce your stress, and get you significantly more money than you'd ever get on your own. Harold Carr Law Offices fights for you at no out-of-pocket cost to you. If you're in a car accident, call them right away. Visit carlaw.com. 2 R's in car. Car accident? Call CAR.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team. Build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try it for free. And you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
No heat, electrical issues, frozen pipes, no power? John Curley here, recommending you call Home Comfort Alliance. For over 40 years doing heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical right, including standby generators. Call the comfort people at homecomfortalliance.com.
Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home by taking advantage of its National Red Tag Sales event going on right now through January 25th. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales event going on right now. Discover the D.R. Horton difference. Visit drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder and equal housing opportunity builder.
Guys, low energy, low drive, or strength not what it used to be? For many men, it's low testosterone. At Revive Men's Health Washington, start with a free T-Check exam and consultation to get real answers. And this month only, qualified patients may receive 25% off testosterone replacement therapy. Call 206-529-1111 or visit revivemenshealth.com. Terms apply. Must medically qualify.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Aaron Granillo. Buckle up, Seahawks fans. The road to the Super Bowl runs straight through a familiar enemy. The San Francisco 49ers come to town tomorrow. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey asked 12s about their superstitions heading into that big playoff game.
From wearing your lucky jersey, sitting in the same spot every game, or not shaving through a playoff run, the 12s have a lot of superstitions. Not everyone, but a lot of them.
I've given up on wanting to own any superstitions.
I only wear whatever uniforms they're wearing on field. So whenever I see that, that's what I wear. San Francisco just gives us a tough time. You know, I couldn't stop pacing last game.
But whatever you do, don't say the Hawks are in the Super Bowl before they're in the Super Bowl. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
A Washington U.S. Senator is questioning President Trump's health care plan to possibly replace the Affordable Care Act. Democrat Maria Cantwell says the plan is light on detail.
We need more than a one-page plan. There is a lot of details that go into something that's 18% of U.S. GDP. This is almost $1 in every $5 spent in the American economy.
The president's plan includes healthcare savings accounts and aims to lower drug prices and insurance premiums. 3 kids in Snohomish County now have measles. The health department there says they were exposed to a family visiting from South Carolina. You can see a list of the places the family visited this month at mynorthwest.com. The kids were not vaccinated. Health officials do call this an outbreak, with 3 or more people infected in the same community. President Trump is ramping up his comments on Greenland as he promotes a U.S. takeover there. CBS's Linda Kenyon with more from the White House.
President Trump has a warning for countries that don't support U.S. control of Greenland.
I may put a tariff on countries if they don't go along with Greenland, because we need Greenland for national security, so I may do that.
Trump has often repeated the U.S. must take over Greenland for national security reasons, adding if it does not, Russia and China will. Greenland is a semi-autonomous territory of NATO ally Denmark. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
Turning now to the real-time traffic desk. The support is brought to you by Northwest Hope and Healing. Join Northwest Hope and Healing for Cork, Fork, and Supports. An afternoon of wine tasting and inspiration. Get your tickets now for January 31st at northwesthopeandhealing.org. Weather is looking very good. We are seeing the fog lift, mostly clear skies this afternoon, sunshine, same for tomorrow. Going to be a beautiful night for the Seahawks playoff game. Right now, 44 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the Gee and Ursula Show. As we told you in the last segment, Pierce County Sheriff Keith Swank had warned state lawmakers yesterday that thousands of people could surround a government building if they try to remove him from office. This happened while he was testifying against a bill that would expand oversight of elected sheriffs. He had also talked about how the state lawmakers he does not recognize their authority over him. So joining us now is former King County Sheriff John Urquhart. Sheriff, thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning.
So you heard the testimony yesterday. What was your immediate reaction?
It was pretty much over the top. You know, I make it a practice not to criticize other sheriffs or other police chiefs, just something I do. But this was This was unusual, to say the least.
In what way?
Just how confrontational he was with this committee, I think the Senate Law and Justice Committee. It was a very controversial testimony. I don't think he did himself any favors. I don't think he did the citizens of Pierce County any favors. I would fall back on the advice my mother always gave me: don't cut off your nose to spite your face. Because at some point, he's going to need to come back to the legislature on things that are important to Pierce County, legislation he'd like to see passed, and he's probably not going to get a very good reception.
Sheriff, I'm going to push back on you today, and I don't usually do that. But you made the comment, you said that he would probably need the legislature because he would probably need something for the people of Pierce County. And you see, that's where I think I have been looking at it the wrong way. He doesn't care about the people of Pierce County. He only cares about himself. So my question back to you is this. Can you think of a time, you don't have to give me a name, where you have seen a sheriff act in this way?
Yes. There was 10 years ago now, there was a East Side sheriff, I won't name him, East Side sheriff that wanted some legislation passed. And it had to do with arbitrations. And it was really good legislation. It would have made our job a lot easier for both police chiefs and sheriffs. But he had ticked off the legislature in the past by some of his comments. And his bill never got out of committee, barely got a hearing. And I've been told that the reason it didn't is because they just didn't like this guy. Had nothing to do with how good his proposed legislation was.
Okay.
So it has happened.
So when you say it has happened, that's where the sheriff has made and didn't play nice with the legislature.
Yeah, basically.
I'm asking you, the way that we have been seeing Swank operate, and not just yesterday, but since he's been the sheriff, have you seen that before?
No, I have not.
And so the fact that you have not seen this before in all of your years, should it make a citizen like me that lives in Pierce County, and maybe you can't really answer that, but should that make me have concern, Sheriff?
Yeah, I think so, because as I said, there is legislation that you as a citizen of Pierce County or a resident of Pierce County might want passed when it comes to law enforcement. And you look to your law enforcement leaders, and he's the only law enforcement leader that represents everybody in King County, and he's not going to be able to do that. He's not going to have the veritas to be able to go and lobby the legislature and have them listen to him. I mean, it's just human nature. If you don't like somebody, you're not going to listen to them. It doesn't matter whether it's a legislature or anything else.
Now, the Washington Association of Sheriffs and Police Chiefs says they're basically reviewing his membership. They wanted to make it clear that what he said yesterday does not represent their views, even though that organization actually does have some issues with the legislation itself. How rare or how serious is that this particular group would say, yeah, we might want to kick this guy out?
I've never heard it happening before. I don't think it's all that serious. Whether he's in there or not doesn't really matter. WASPIC, Washington Association of Sheriffs and Police Chiefs, is made up of virtually every sheriff, every police chief in the state. So it's a big organization. And they lobby the legislature. They're funded in large part by the legislature. I think what they're saying is they don't like his style as much as his message. Mm-hmm. And we need to keep that in mind. He pushed back against this new legislation that's being promoted. But it's the way he did it that people don't like. Not necessarily the message, but the style that he did. And that's really the problem that I have. People call me controversial at times, but I really respect the legislature. I've gone down there many times, lobbied for legislation that I thought it was important. All of it got passed that I wanted passed eventually, not right away, but eventually. So that's what you have to do. They don't like his style. They don't like the way he presented himself and represented the law enforcement profession in Olympia yesterday.
Okay, so my argument on this and the legislation itself is that this is exactly the kind of behavior that would actually support this kind of a bill, even though law enforcement groups have some issues with it. But this idea, if you keep allowing voters to elect the sheriff, but if there was something egregious and this sheriff loses their peace officer certification? Like, what remedies do you have? As Gee said, you're stuck with them.
You're stuck with them. That's absolutely correct. Now, what he did yesterday should not be decertifying. I just, again, it's a style issue. It's something that the Washington State Criminal Justice Training Center should not look at all. I mean, he's already got 3 cases in front of him, is my understanding, that could decertify him. The question is, and what this legislation would address is, if you are decertified, how do you get somebody out of office? And we can argue about that for a long time, whether that's a good idea or not. But this is not decertifying.
You're listening to the voice of former King County Sheriff John Urquhart here on the Gee and Ursula Show. Sheriff, forget the legislature. I want to talk about me as a concerned citizen, because I am really concerned. And here's specifically what I'm concerned about. We are seeing what is taking place in Minneapolis, in Minnesota. We are seeing how ICE right now, where as a citizen, it feels like ICE is being weaponized on the community. Not saying ICE hasn't always been here and done their jobs, but this feels different right now. It looks different right now. So my question right to you is this. As a concerned citizen of Pierce County, knowing that you have a sheriff acting in that way, I'm concerned of one day there being ICE versus local law enforcement. I am concerned of that if things continue to go where they are. Am I rightful in my concern, or am I way out of left field?
No, you're absolutely right. To me,
I didn't want me to be right.
You're absolutely right. What concerns me even more of the confrontation between local law enforcement and ICE is if local law enforcement starts working with ICE. And that's what could happen in Pierce County. He already said what he's going to do about masks. And you've heard me talk about masks. That's my gets my blood boiling with these people who are wearing masks.
For people who have not heard what you've said about that, okay, we're actually out of time for this segment. Can we hold you over? Because you've also expressed some real concerns about what you're seeing in Minneapolis. Can we keep you for another segment?
Yeah, because I really, now I'm nervous.
Okay, yeah, so we will have that conversation with former King County Sheriff John Urquhart coming up next. Stay with us.
When you walked through your kitchen this morning, what'd you see? Did it make you happy? Hi, I'm Chad Cicchini, owner of Heritage Homecraft. Well, I want to make you happy. We'll custom build you all new cabinet doors and drawer fronts, and using our exclusive 1/4-inch solid wood refacing process, transform your existing cabinets into a beautiful new kitchen. Add a custom quartz countertop, change things up a bit, add some more cabinets, install some cool new features like soft close drawers and sliding shelves, whatever you like. We'll help you to create the new kitchen you'll be proud of. All in about a week, and all with way less mess, hassle, time, and expense than to tear out. Stop waiting. For 18 years, we've been honored to serve thousands of happy customers, and we'd love to serve you. Call today and I'll get one of our pros to come out and show you how easy and comfortable it'll be to get going on your new kitchen. Heritage Homecraft, 425-485-1600, 425-485-1600, or heritagehomecraft.com.
On approved credit, subject to vehicle insurance and availability. A documentary service fee may be added to the sale price or capitalized cost. See dealer for details. Valid through 1/31/26.
I got to tell you something, Nick. I have really noticed a difference in your energy level since you started going to the Longevity Medical Clinic.
And you know why?
Why?
Because they actually balanced my hormone levels. And when they do that, the largest change I noticed was that now I could sleep.
And then not only get more sleep, they just get more energy, right?
Right. So that all of a sudden that resulted in me, I started running again and doing all these things that I felt so fatigued throughout the day that I couldn't do anymore.
Okay, so at this point, do you want to apologize to me? Because I was always saying to you, every time you say, I don't sleep, I don't feel well, I feel kind of off, I go, well, you need to get in touch with Longevity Medical Clinic. And you're always like, blah, 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 blah.
I know. But now it's turned into something fun that we get to go in together.
So I need to hear, you were right.
You were right.
You were right. I should have gone to Longevity Medical Clinic.
I should have.
There we go. Fine.
Yes.
You know the right thing to do. Get in touch with Longevity Medical Clinic. Take the free health analysis at lmclinic.com.
We didn't just buy one Subaru from Carter Subaru. We bought two. And when it's time to replace our Outback and our Forester, we're going to be back at Carter Subaru. Why, you ask? Well, because Carter Subaru treats their customers like family. And once you have experienced that high level of service, you are going to understand why so many people stick with them. Just look around. Carter Subaru license plate frames are everywhere you drive. Carter is Seattle's only Subaru dealership, and they stand alone with the largest selection in the state. They have more than 700 Subarus in stock right now. So if you've been looking for a new car, right now you can finance a 2026 Outback starting at 3.9%. Visit Carter Subaru in Shoreline or Ballard or anytime at cartersubaru.com.
On approved credit, subject to vehicle insurance and availability. A documentary service fee may be added to the sale price or capitalized cost. See dealer for details. Valid through 1/31/26.
Guys, if you want the greatest night of your life, I mean your best night ever, then you gotta hear this. There's a new ED pill out, and it's from the makers of Viagra. It's their first new ED pill in over 20 years. This new super pill is called Viagra AGV, and it's unbelievable. It works super fast in only 11 minutes and lasts up to 14 hours thanks to its new vasodynamic delivery system. Plus, it's FDA approved and safe. There has never been any ED pill like it. It's unreal what it does to you. In testing, Viagra AGV crushed every other ED pill. It destroyed them all. And now, 9 out of 10 urologists are recommending Viagra AGV over any other ED pill. Every man alive needs to try this new Viagra AGV super pill at least once. Then you'll know why men are going crazy over it. So if you want to have the most incredible night of your life, you can't miss this. Go to scoreblue.com and try it while supplies last. That's scoreblue.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. Hear that? That's Mike. He took ZQL Pure Z's, so now he's sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. ZQL Pure Z's are fast-acting melatonin gummies with a complementary botanical blend to help Mike get the sleep he needs to wake up refreshed and ready to conquer Monday. Let's do this, Monday. ZQL Pure Z's, just for sleep. Really great sleep. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
Welcome back into the Gee and Ursula Show. Happy Fresh Fridays to all of you. We are still joined here by King County Sheriff John Urquhart here on the Gee and Ursula Show. And Sheriff, one of the things that I said to you is I told you about my concern down as living in Pierce County. And by the way, Keith Swank has already mentioned and said that he was willing to work with ICE. And a part of me has also been nervous about the potential in other cities as well, other states as well, of there being some clash between law enforcement and ICE. You told me that my concerns were valid. What safeguards are there in place to make us citizens feel safer? Because right now it feels like Keith Swank is in a situation where he can't lose. Even if you decertify him, he still gets to walk into his office because he was elected by the people.
At least so far. You know, we've got this bill that's in the legislature right now. It's promoted by or written by John Lovick, Senator Lovick, a good man. He writes good legislation, former state patrol, former King County or Snohomish County executive, a former sheriff, so he knows what he's talking about.
Right.
The bill, I think, has a lot of good parts to it. that I'm really enthusiastic about. The accountability part is probably the biggest. But it's like anything else. The bill is 27 pages long, so there's a lot of stuff in there. What concerns me most about anything that comes out of the legislature is, remember, a camel is really a racehorse that was designed by a committee. And wow.
You got to think about that, but that is, there's truth to that.
The legislature is a big committee.
Yes.
And we saw what happened with the pursuit bill.
Yes, and it needed to be tweaked majorly.
It was absolutely a camel.
Yes.
And it needed to be tweaked, and the legislature, to their credit, did it.
Did that, yeah.
The devil's in the details on John's bill, and we need to look at that, and I think there's parts of it that probably need to be negotiated. Let me give you just one example. His bill says that a sheriff or a police chief must have at least 5 years of regular, uninterrupted, full-time law enforcement employment. Well, Paul Pastor, very, very good sheriff out of Tacoma, out of Pierce County.
Pierce County, yeah.
Started out and didn't have any law enforcement experience. You look at the current sheriff in King County, Patty Cole Tyndall. She has 25, 30 years ago, she was a gambling enforcement officer and went through that academy, but she'd never been a general authority police officer until she became the King County Sheriff and went through the academy. She's a great sheriff. She's done a really, really good job, but she would have been disqualified if the bill passed in its current form.
Right.
So I think those kind of things need to be talked about, need to be negotiated a little bit. There's some other things.
Sure, but
overall,
the gist of what is Senator Lovick is trying to get at, I think that what my contention is the current Pierce County Sheriff gives reason for why this could come into play.
Yes, but you never want to change state law based on one individual.
Correct.
That's the problem. But
and that I do agree with.
This is a bill about accountability.
Yes.
And we should be holding our regular police officers accountable. We should hold our sheriffs and police chiefs accountable as well.
Appointed sheriff or vote for the sheriff? What's your stance?
Oh, elected sheriff. No question about it. I think the citizens of King County made a huge mistake when they voted to have a appointed sheriff. It's just the way it is. Obviously, I'm a little bit biased about that.
Yes,
but
I gotcha. Yes,
the legislature's fear is that some counties can elect Joe the plumber as sheriff. Well, if they do, that's their decision.
Or president.
That's exactly right. But even in Pierce County, Swank ran against Patty Jackson. She was a very, very good, very reasonable person. I supported her. Full disclosure, now she's the police chief in the city of Tacoma.
Right.
I know they love her.
But Pierce County wanted Keith Swank. Well, they got him.
So they got him. Let's move on to what is happening in Minneapolis after the shooting and killing of Renee Good by an ICE agent. I know that we haven't really had a chance to talk about that, but you have some grave concerns as to what you've learned in recent days regarding that particular ICE agent.
Well, two or three things today that came out. The city of Minneapolis released their EMS, the first responders, when they came to render aid to her. And they say she'd been shot 4 times, once into the left side of the head, once on the left side of the chest, the left arm. All that came from the officer not being in front of the car when he was over the side of the car. Take a look at this officer. The last 6 months, he's been injured twice now by the actions he took regarding vehicles. The most recent case, supposedly he has internal bleeding. I question that. A lot of people question whether that's true or not. They say he has internal bleeding from being struck by the vehicle because he was in front of it, which he's not supposed to do. 6 months ago, he was more seriously injured when he reached inside of a car, got stuck, and got dragged. Again, you don't do that. Your training, your experience, the rules of the road, you just don't do that with a vehicle. So now his decision-making, his poor, flawed decision-making, has gotten him injured twice and a woman shot and killed. If he worked for me, this guy would be flying a desk until I was convinced that he had the ability to make good decisions and was willing to follow what our policies are.
Excuse me, Sheriff. He wouldn't be working for you because you're local law enforcement, and that's ICE. And right now, we have already learned not less than 24 hours after that officer did that, the vice president of the United States gets on TV and said that officer will have full immunity. How can this cannot be beat. It feels like Rocky IV when Adrian tells Rocky before he leaves out, you can't win.
Well, let me say that Vice President Maybelline has no idea what he's talking about. He does not have full immunity, period.
I that wasn't lost on me on the Maybelline. However, he doesn't know what he's talking about. Well, the other thing that the vice president said was that he admitted that this ICE agent might have been sensitive given that he was injured. And I think that speaks to what you said, that you would want to have someone, taken off the streets until you know for sure that they're okay to come back on the street.
If he was suffering from PTSD, okay, fine. But he shouldn't have been working. Shouldn't have been working the streets if that was the case.
Thanks, Sheriff. Hey, before you go, last week or the last time, people said, gee, you can't ask him questions about his wife coming downtown. Today, you brought your lovely bride today. I'm so happy. This has made my Friday.
Yes, and so great to meet you, Shelley, in person.
Yeah.
And you guys are going to go to breakfast after this, so we hope you have a great breakfast.
All right. Coming up next here on the Gee and Ursula Show, Dr. Jason Johnson from MSNBC, MS Now. I don't know what they call it these days, but he joins us next. Gee and Ursula.
Paid political announcement.
More than half of short-term rentals across Washington are booked by Washingtonians. Families traveling for their children's tournaments and games. Firefighters fighting wildfires. Traveling nurses providing critical care. Every day, short-term rentals are helping make travel more affordable. Legislators in Olympia are considering increasing taxes on short-term rentals. But with the cost of everything going up, we can't take another price increase. Keep travel affordable for us. Paid for by Airbnb helps our state thrive host pack.
Nearing retirement? Do you know what retirement will cost you? John Curley here from Madrona Financial. Retirement isn't just about income. It's about avoiding big mistakes and blind spots that hurt so many. Taxes, healthcare, inflation. Even with reasonable growth, those three alone can wreck your retirement if ignored. Gain knowledge on how to turn your money into a system that supports you when times are good or bad. Join Matt Beyer and Madrona Financial and CPAs for a free virtual retirement planning workshop Tuesday, the 27th of January at 6:30 p.m. Attend from the comfort of your own home. Bring your spouse, too. You'll learn what a complete retirement plan looks like, not just a portfolio. Just call right now to RSVP, and they'll email you the Zoom link. Again, Tuesday, the 27th, 6:30 p.m., online via Zoom. To RSVP, call 833-673-7373 or sign up online at madronafinancial.com/events. It's free, but you'll need to RSVP. Call 833-673-7373.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. 1-877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
Around here, rain isn't a surprise. While others run for cover, Seahawks fans step into the storm, game day ready. And the Pro Shop is how.
Ball picked up! Witherspoon comes near side! 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown! Seahawks!
Every game, any weather. We got that. Shop official Seahawks gear in-store at Lumen Field and The Landing in Renton. Or online at Seahawks.com/Pro Shop.
Guys, low energy, low drive, or strength not what it used to be? For many men, it's low testosterone. At Revive Men's Health Washington, start with a free T-check exam and consultation to get real answers. And this month only, qualified patients may receive 25% off testosterone replacement therapy. Call 206-529-1111 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Terms apply. Must medically qualify.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it today at cars4kids.org. Your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call 1-877-CARS4KIDS to donate your car today. That's cars with a K.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour. Your home for original reporting.
I'm Steve Kathan. CIA Director John Ratcliffe has met with Venezuela's interim leader in Caracas, and the opposition leader, Maria Corina Machado, said today in Washington she's ready to lead at the right time.
The only thing I want to assure the Venezuelan people is that Venezuela is going to be free, and that's going to be achieved with the support of the people of the United States and the president, Donald Trump.
The White House says President Trump plans to pardon former Puerto Rico Governor Wanda Vasquez. Last summer, she pleaded guilty to a campaign finance violation in a federal case that involved a former FBI agent and a Venezuelan banker. State and local leaders in Minnesota gathered to condemn the ICE presence in Minneapolis. Mayor Jacob Fry.
This is an invasion for the sake of creating chaos by our own federal government to interrupt the daily lives of tens of thousands of people.
CBS's Ian Lee says more information's been released about last week's fatal shooting of a woman by an ICE agent.
Renee Good was essentially dead within an hour. That shooting happened at 9:37. Within 5 minutes, paramedics tended to her. They saw a chaotic scene. She was unresponsive. She wasn't breathing. She had an irregular pulse. They tried to save her life. They transported her to a medical center, and that's where she was declared dead at 10:30.
Well, CBS News has learned ICE's detainee population has now reached a record high of 73,000. A new threat to other countries from President Trump as he pushes for U.S. control of Greenland.
President Trump has a warning for countries that don't support U.S. control of Greenland.
I may put a tariff on countries if they don't go along with Greenland, because we need Greenland for national security, so I may do that.
Trump has often repeated the U.S. must take over Greenland for national security reasons, adding if it does not, Russia and China will. Greenland is a semi-autonomous territory of NATO ally Denmark. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
President Trump holding a rural health roundtable as funds begin to roll out through a program created last year in his budget bill. Medicare and Medicaid Administrator Dr. Mehmet Oz.
Your zip code actually is your destiny. It determines how long you're going to live, and we can make a dent in this because the high rates of chronic disease and other ailments that plague our rural areas are often driven because they don't have access to care. That's going to change because of this legislation.
And checking Wall Street, it's a mixed bag. The Dow is down 16 points, the S&P is up 1, and the NASDAQ is down 4. This is CBS News.
Real crimes, real justice. Follow and listen to 48 Hours on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
A quarterback injury on the eve of the Seahawks' big playoff game. That is coming up next. But first, we go to the real-time traffic desk and tell you about a new crash. This is on I-5 southbound, the off-ramp to Northgate Way. It is partially blocking the ramp, and that's usually right where the backups start for our Revive I-5 construction. But thankfully, today it is overall Friday light, so Linwood to Seattle, taking you only about 25 minutes, so you will see the backup start right around Northgate. Heading northbound, typical slowdowns right there before you get to the construction zone at the Ship Canal Bridge. Slows down right at about Mercer Street. Other than that, we are collision-free, and the map is looking great. A lot of green. The lake bridges are wide open. Tacoma to Olympia, no slowdowns. Renton to Bellevue, we are seeing a couple of slowdowns, though, through the S-curves. This report brought to you by KIRO Newsradio.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Aaron Granillo. It is almost game time.
Touchdown! Seahawks!
Seahawks set to a playoff showdown tomorrow night with their division rival, the San Francisco 49ers. Hawks quarterback Sam Darnold is now listed as questionable with an oblique injury. Will he miss the game?
It's a very low percentage, probably closer to 0.
You can catch all the action tomorrow night at 5 right here on your home for the Seahawks, KIRO News Radio. State Sheriff's Association may kick out Pierce County Sheriff Keith Swank. The group says his comments to lawmakers yesterday sounded like threats.
I don't recognize your authority to impose these controls over me. And when you try to remove me from office, thousands of Pierce County residents will surround the county city building in downtown Tacoma and will not allow that to happen.
He was speaking in Olympia against a bill that tightens rules for sheriffs and police chiefs. He also blasted that separate bill banning masks for law enforcement. The Sheriffs and Police Chiefs Association says his remarks were inflammatory and do not reflect its views. Amazon is moving forward now with more office space in Bellevue.
The company plans to finish towers it put on hold in 2022. That includes Bellevue 600's first tower and 2 buildings at West Main. Shell work was done, but construction stopped as Amazon reassessed during the pandemic. The company already restarted 2 other towers last year. Amazon says these projects will help it reach 25,000 employees in Bellevue. According to the Puget Sound Business Journal, Amazon is the city's largest employer now. Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
King County will soon require most office employees to work in person at least 3 days a week. The mandate was announced more than a year ago, but has never been fully enforced. Seattle Times reports new county executive Gurmai Zahalai says departments are now developing return to office plans. His office says nearly 3/4 of county employees have worked in person all along. Your forecast now going to see mostly sunny skies this afternoon, and we are dry through the weekend. Sunny with highs in the low 50s. Right now, 44 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO Newsradio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Yep, happy Fresh Fridays here on the Gee and Ursula Show. Ursula, we are 1 day away. Tomorrow night, 5 o'clock, inside of Lumen Field, the Seahawks will take the field against the San Francisco 49ers.
Yes, and we have been talking about, someone was laughing about the idea that anyone has superstitions, but what I have learned from our text line is there are people who do have superstitions or, for example, want to wear the same thing that they did the last time the Seahawks faced the 49ers to make sure that they don't change anything so that we continue to have good luck. So if you are doing anything different, or what are you doing? What is your game plan for tomorrow's game?
Yeah.
And one of our listeners asked and said, what is the best way? How do you like watching the game? What is your favorite way to watch the game? I know there's an answer that you probably need to have, and then there's a real answer.
Man. All right.
Okay, what's your favorite? What's your well
at the
stadium,
at the stadium with the people and the fans. It's my favorite way.
Okay, and if I could get front row seats and great seats, then I would feel the same way. But the likelihood of me getting anywhere closer than nosebleed, that's not very likely, especially for these kinds of games. So my favorite way to watch the game is from home with some really good friends and some really good food.
Okay.
So text us 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. We'll talk more Seahawks and have more fun coming up at 10:30. Right now, though,
what's new at 10?
And if you have been paying attention to the news, you know that tensions have reached a boiling point after that ICE officer fatally shot Renee Good in Minneapolis. There have been so many protests since then, so many confrontations. President Trump now threatening to invoke the Insurrection Act to deploy the military to tamp down ongoing anti-ICE protests in Minneapolis. And you saw an opinion piece written by our friend, Dr. Jason Johnson, and you thought that, hey, why don't we talk about it? And I totally agree. And look who's wearing his Seahawks gear.
Oh, boy, wait a minute. You really try. Well, oh, my goodness.
Dr. Jason Johnson.
I'm ready. Nick and Marori got his jersey on. I love the fact that you have his jersey on. Man, that is awesome.
Look at that. That is a good.
I'm ready. Okay. I'm ready. Let's get right to it. We got a lot to talk about. You did write an opinion piece for MS Now. It was fantastic. In the headline was Democrats need to run against ICE in 2026. You had a lot to say about the Democrats not seizing this moment. Let's talk about it.
The basics are this. ICE doesn't work. ICE is unpopular. ICE makes people unhappy. And the way that you win in a midterm is a combination of an unpopular president and unpopular policies. In 2006, you ran against George Bush, and you ran against the fact that people were unhappy with the Gulf War. In 2010, people ran against folks who were unhappy with Obama, unhappy about the healthcare rollout. In 2018, people ran against Trump and the bad economy. This is a situation where ICE is completely out of control. It is the most unpopular agency in the government. They are less popular than Congress. They are less popular than the IRS. Less popular than the IRS. A recent YouGov poll, and this was taken before the shooting in Minneapolis, more Americans want to abolish ICE than want to abolish the IRS. And the IRS has a 125-year head start. So if Democrats had any political courage, now is the time to say this agency needs to be stopped. It needs to be eliminated. You can still do border protection without it. And if they don't take this moment, then they're being political cowards. And as a political scientist, this is campaign malpractice.
Dr. Johnson, right now I feel like there's political cowardice amongst everybody in Congress, with the exception of a few. And I would be concerned. I understand what you're saying, and it's unpopular right now, and it seems to be like what so many people are talking about. But isn't there a danger by hyper-focusing on this one thing? Because fighting ICE does not help me pay my bills.
Oh, perfect point, Ursula. There is no campaign that's only about one issue. Just because you say abolish ICE doesn't mean you don't say we're trying to do stuff about affordability and we're trying to save your health care, right? When Republicans ran in 2020 and 2024 saying we're going to abolish the Department of Education, we're going to get rid of the Department of Health and Human Services, they also talked about security, they talked about other issues. So it's not about a singular focus, but it's about focusing on something that legitimately doesn't work. And Ursula, I think this is key, because this is not dismissing anybody who is concerned about national security issues, anybody who's concerned about immigration. Everybody has concerns about what's happening at the border. But what you have with ICE agents, this is immigrations and customs enforcement. But they're not doing anything about customs. You don't see ICE agents, hey, we invaded this whole factory of illegal bootleg Louis Vuitton purses and cigarettes, right? We don't see them grabbing people off the coast and saying, hey, they were trying to bring in fake medicine. You see them running around and harassing people selling elotes at street corners. You see them breaking into courthouses and arresting men, women, and children who are trying to get their paperwork together. They're being paid six figures, getting their college loans paid for, right? And a $50,000 signing bonus to do something while you and I can't get our loans taken care of, and we're still paying $7 for a pack of eggs. That's why this is something people should run against.
You're listening to Dr. Jason Johnson, contributor to MS Now here on the Gee and Ursula Show and political science professor. Okay, Dr. Johnson, you have mentioned and you brought up ICE. I have concern as a citizen. We talked about this before you came on, and I have concern about ICE and local law enforcement clashing.
Right.
Your thoughts on that?
Well, they should be, because law enforcement is about enforcing the law. If ICE is violating the law, then it is the responsibility of either the state National Guard or the police to stop them. Now, if ICE is following the law, then you don't get in their way. That's how the separation of powers is supposed to work. But when you have these situations like you had where ICE was tear gassing people, if you have the situation like you had in Minnesota, where ICE is giving people multiple conflicting commands and then shooting a woman in broad daylight and then walking away, right? Not offering any sort of medical assistance, not offering any healthcare, and blocking doctors from actually assisting the woman, law enforcement should have arrested Jonathan Ross on the spot. And that's what should be happening right now. And unfortunately, you have too many state legislators, too many mayors, too many governors, and too many members of Congress who want to write strongly worded letters instead of saying, hey, wait a minute. Anybody who violates the law, even if it's in the conduct of their duties, can be arrested. And that's what should be happening right now. I don't have a problem with local police being in conflict with ICE when ICE is breaking the law.
So, Dr. Johnson, why isn't this happening? If it's so clear for you, why isn't this happening with members of Congress?
Great question.
It's mostly cowardice, right? And think about it, Ursula. Like, if you go back to, say, 2018, right? If in 2018, when it was AOC and Bernie and Elizabeth Warren saying, "Ooh, abolish ICE," it sounded like some crazy left-wing stuff, and nobody was like, I don't really want to do that, right? But today, it's like, oh, wait. The only time we see these people are viral videos of them beating folks up. But you have a lot of members of Congress who are afraid to follow the people, right? And I am very rarely the person who says that this happens on both sides, but you saw something similar with Republicans 7 or 8 years ago about gun control. After Parkland, after these shootings, you had the majority of Republicans, like 51% of Republicans saying, yes, we're in favor of gun control. Yes, we're in favor of closing the gun show loophole. Yes, we're in favor of a 7-day waiting period. And members of Congress blocked what their own constituents wanted. And that's what you have happening right now with Democrats. They are afraid. They don't want to do what their constituents want because they think it's going to come in conflict with their donors. And that's not how politics is supposed to work.
Dr. Johnson, I find myself maybe off the air defending Donald Trump. And this is,
wow.
Yeah.
This has not happened in our conversations. I'm intrigued.
No, it happened. Here's where I defend Donald Trump. Because you have so many people now saying, oh my goodness, I can't believe this is happening. In fairness to Donald Trump, he was full disclosure. He was very transparent in all of his plans. He literally told you exactly what was going to happen. And then now you have all of these people, and for the record, I'm not upset today. I was upset in November of 2024 when he got elected. I'm not upset today. And I'll say this, Donald Trump almost tells the truth way more than everybody else does. He tells you what he's going to do.
I disagree. And here's why. Donald Trump lies all the time. He says one thing and then does another policy. He says he's going to do one thing and then he does something else. He tells me that he's going to do something about affordability, but then he passes this big, beautiful bill, which guts my health care. He tells me that he's going to do something about affordability, then he raises $300 million to build an extension to the White House. He tells me we're not going to get involved in foreign wars, then he goes and invades and kidnaps a leader in Venezuela. He told me the first time that he was going to build a wall and Mexico was going to pay for it, and none of that happened. Donald Trump says things that you think are going to be true, but they never end up actually happening. And because he says them in such bold and bodacious ways, people think, oh my gosh, well, at least he's a truth teller. He really isn't, G. He really isn't. If you actually listen to what he says, he comes in conflict with his own words all the time. Now, Project 2025 is happening, but he didn't read that because the man don't read. So there's a difference between the Republicans being honest and Trump being honest.
You are listening to Dr. Jason Johnson, professor of politics and journalism at Morgan State University. Let's talk about some of the other things, because there are so many things happening that you can't even hardly pay attention to one before something else happens. I mean, you mentioned Venezuela, and yesterday it almost got overlooked that Trump now has a Nobel Peace Prize given by Venezuela's Machado.
Yes.
Okay, so what are you making of that? Is she being promised something down the line, or was this in all sincerity?
I mean, first off, that would be the same thing as me buying a local Emmy and scratching off a name and giving it to y'all, right? Like, it's not your award. You didn't really earn it, right? It's not how these things work. You may be happy to display it in the background, but you didn't really earn the local Emmy. Here's the thing. It is emblematic of the fact that everybody, I do not understand this. Like, this is something I honestly don't understand. I don't know why people are loyal to Donald Trump when he always plays them. Machado had been kissing his butt when she ran for office. She was kissing his butt after she lost, because we know that Maduro rigged the election in 2024. She should have won. He stole it. And she spent all this time trying to show Donald Trump that she was loyal to him and she was great and whatever else it is. And what happens? Trump gets into office. We invade Venezuela, take out Maduro, and then she's not put in office. The United States didn't even say call for new elections. She got played. All of her loyalty did nothing for her. And so what she's doing is giving him a Nobel Peace Prize because she hopes that will sort of tickle his ego and maybe it'll help her down the road. But that never works for anybody. I never understand people who think that kissing Donald Trump's butt is going to help them out. It didn't help Jeff Sessions. It didn't help Paul Ryan. It never helps anybody. But they keep doing it thinking one day I'm going to be the one he doesn't smack.
The Bishop Don Juan always shows back up with somebody different in his crew. That's another thing. Mm-hmm. Now, you did get me. I want to just say you were right on the ways that Donald Trump is able to say this but do that. So you got me on that. But there's one thing that probably the biggest thing that we are talking about right now, and probably where I was short-sighted on, is he said mass deportation was going to be a thing. He just recently threatened to invoke the Insurrection Act. When he says these things, those things right there, the horrible, awful things, I'm joking about maybe there shouldn't be an election for the midterms. Hey, I believe him.
Yes. Well, here's the thing, G, and this is the sad part about, I think, the American public. It's like the reverse version of NIMBY, not in my backyard in the 70s, like, hey, I want nuclear power. I don't want to hear. When Trump was talking about massive deportations, first off, you have to look in context. There were thousands, hundreds of thousands of people being deported every single year under Obama, hundreds of thousands of people being deported every single year under Joe Biden. It's not like anybody is lazy on deportations when it comes to the presidents that we've had over the last 3 or 4 cycles. But Donald Trump said they're going to deport like 3,000 people a day. First off, you would run out of people. Okay, like you can't deport 4,000 people a day. You're not going to have enough. But on top of that, what he claimed he was going to do is that they were going to deport criminals, and they were going to deport drug dealers, and they were going to deport fraudsters. And you don't see any of that happening. You see this president just basically pardon a foreign leader who have been engaging in drug smuggling in the United States. You see him pardon people who commit crimes all the time. And you see these ICE agents are not improving anybody's local economy. So everybody said, oh, hey, I'm down with mass deportations as long as it's criminals, but it ends up not being criminals, right? It ends up being people who are like, well, that's Rick down the street. He's been selling elotes on the street corner for 20 years. Or, hey, that's my daughter's Spanish teacher. Her visa expired in 2023. It was the pandemic. She didn't have time to fix it. They're not deporting criminals. They're deporting neighbors. They're deporting friends. Ooh. They're deporting family members. And they're doing it in these violent, inconsistent ways that are disruptive to the economy and, frankly, don't serve anybody.
You're listening to Dr. Jason Johnson. I need to ask this because one of my feelings about this coming midterm election is that it is, if not the most important, it is one of the most important in my lifetime. If you're not happy with how things are going and you still don't vote this coming election, there really is no hope. Yeah. Put into context how important this upcoming election is.
So this is the thing. It's like we've had 4 or 5 elections now where one party, usually the Democrats, but either one can say, this is the most important election of your life. And the problem is that most people have been like, you told me that last time, right? It's the person that's like, no, this time it's really going to be different. It's Lucy and the football. But I think what has happened, because we saw this in 2024, right? You had all these different people who are like, I don't know if I like Kamala, blah, blah, blah. I don't like how she laughs, and I don't really like Joe Biden. And everybody thought, well, we got through the first Trump administration, so, we can probably get through a second. Well, everyone's realizing that was a mistake now. Everyone saw what happened with Doge, right? Hundreds of thousands of people, government agencies not working properly. The beginning of 2025, where you had planes falling out of the sky because they were firing air traffic controllers. Everybody's health care is about to spike. ICE breaking up people's families in the middle of the street. The expenses that you have for school and education, they just gutted all sorts of resources and federal funding for drug intervention programs just like 24 hours ago, right? This is a year where everyone's feeling it. There ain't nobody out there who can tell me objectively that they are doing better now under this administration after we're just about to head to the first year than they were before. And if you are unhappy, you can no longer claim that it's good for me, but not for other people. No one is doing better other than billionaires. So yes, you have to go out and actually vote this year, because if you don't get involved now, you're probably not going to have a chance down the road. And that's not hyperbole when you have a man who is technically term limited by the Constitution, but everybody around him is saying, we got a plan for him to run again in 2028.
Now, Sue on the Cedar River says, and you, I think, alluded to it, is there any way that the president cannot allow midterms? I know he said, or his spokesperson said, that was a joke.
No, he's not joking. He's not joking. Look, Trump has said, I mean, they have people in the White House who are saying, like, well, why can't we just shoot protesters, right? Like, the guy has made it very clear that if he could get away with shooting somebody in the middle of Fifth Avenue, he would do it. That's his attitude one way or another. It is not likely that a president could actually cancel midterms. One, in the sense the Constitution is supposed to have midterms. But two, the federal government doesn't run midterm elections. They're run in Colorado. They're run in Oregon. They're run in Washington. They're run in California. So they don't really have the power to stop what a state does. The state is going to do what the Constitution says. But Ursula, can Donald Trump send in ICE troops to particular cities? He certainly can. Can Donald Trump encourage local Republican legislators to get rid of early voting stations? Yes, they can. They just snatched an early voting station off an HBCU outside of suburban Charlotte just earlier this week, just making it difficult for college kids to vote. So trust and believe there will be attempts by this administration to limit people's access to the vote, to make it difficult for them to vote, as Republicans have been doing for 25 years now. But that's not the same thing as canceling it. And I don't think, even with an Insurrection Act, that Donald Trump could tell every state, every Michigan, every Texas, every California, no, you guys can't vote.
Dr. Jason Johnson, political science professor. We appreciate you, brother. You was on fire today, my man. I love that you wore that Nick Imamori jersey. That's nice. Yeah, that's nice.
Go Hawks, beat the 49ers, and then please take out the Rams. I cannot suffer through Matt Stafford in the Super Bowl.
All right. Coming up next, more to Gee Ursula Show.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
With the new IHOP value menu, $6 is all it takes to go to your happy place, where stacks of pancakes with bacon and eggs are just $6 every day. French toast, sausage, and eggs are, you guessed it, $6. And fluffy omelets come with a side of pancakes and only cost $6. Go to your happy plates every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations. Available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
All right, here's a quick confession. The reason Nick, my wife, is going to Longevity Medical Clinic is because why?
I got sick of watching you sleep at night when I was awake.
Wait a minute. Here's what would happen. I'd be asleep because I've got my hormones balanced, thanks to Longevity Medical Clinic. I'm asleep, and then Nick would go, "Are you asleep? Are you sleeping? That's not fair. I can't sleep." I'm like, "So you're going to wake me up?"
Yes, because I didn't want you to have more energy than I would the next day, and I was up all night.
So what did I say to you? I said, so go to the Longevity Medical Clinic. Do the same thing I did. Get your hormones balanced. You'll sleep better, right?
And I did.
Right. You don't have to wake me up anymore and go, it's not fair that you're sleeping.
I know.
But didn't you see that it wasn't fair that you were waking me up?
Yes, because now you're the one taking the dogs out because I'm still asleep in the morning.
So we're both getting good night's sleep. We're both getting lots of energy, and we're happy.
You want me to tell you why? Because my hormones are now balanced.
Okay, I don't want to hear about your hormones right now. So be like Nick and get a free health analysis at lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
Guys, low energy, low drive, or strength not what it used to be? For many men, it's low testosterone. At Revive Men's Health Washington, start with a free T-Check exam and consultation to get real answers. And this month only, qualified patients may receive 25% off testosterone replacement therapy. Call 206-529-1111 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Terms apply. Must medically qualify.
It's hiring season at Sky Nursery.
Hi, I'm Jen, greenhouse manager here at Sky, where we've been proudly serving Seattle area gardeners since 1953. Sky Nursery is truly a fantasy plant land, but it's also a bustling environment that takes a great team to succeed. Whether you're making coffee, cashiering, or on the sales floor, we're looking for applicants who like to learn, adapt with the seasons, and go home knowing they made a difference in somebody's garden. Spring is fast approaching. Find open seasonal positions and benefits at skynursery.com.
Do you need glasses or contacts and you're now at the age where you also need readers? K2 Vision RLE is the permanent solution to eliminate the need for all those. Hey, it's Doctors King and Kopstein from K2 Vision. Andy, for those nearing age 50 or so, refractive lens exchange can be a great alternative to LASIK.
That's right, Joe. K2 Vision RLE is a terrific permanent solution for a lifetime of great vision. The older we get, we experience the dysfunction of our natural lens, which affects both distance vision and requires the use of reading glasses. Plus, after K2 Vision RLE, you will never develop a cataract.
And like LASIK, K2 Vision RLE is quick and painless. The question is, which procedure is right for you?
After replacing more than 100,000 failing lenses, we have the experience to tell you if it's your right time for RLE.
Schedule your free Zoom consultation with us about K2 Vision RLE to get your eyes seeing young again, permanently.
Go to k2visionrle.com, k2visionrle.com.
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, accurate auto body.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, accurate auto body.
Paid political announcement.
More than half of short-term rentals across Washington are booked by Washingtonians. Families traveling for their children's tournaments and games. Firefighters fighting wildfires. Traveling nurses providing critical care. Every day, short-term rentals are helping make travel more affordable. Legislators in Olympia are considering increasing taxes on short-term rentals. But with the cost of everything going up, we can't take another price increase. Keep travel affordable for us. Paid for by Airbnb helps our state thrive host pack.
Carter Subaru is Seattle's only Subaru dealer with the largest selection of Subarus in Washington. With over 800 vehicles in stock, they have exactly what you're looking for with savings you'll love. Visit Carter Subaru in Shoreline and Ballard or anytime at cartersubaru.com.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Aaron Granillo. The road to the NFC Championship runs straight through Lumen Field and a familiar enemy. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey reports the 12s have some choice words for those San Francisco 49ers.
Just outside Lumen Field, where the big game kicks off Saturday night, the message from Aisha to 49ers fans was short and sweet.
Yeah, stay home. I'm sorry that you wasted your time.
Longtime 12 Bruno says he's tired of every single fan coming out of Santa Clara.
Well, there's a reason why we call them the whiners. They're always complaining about something.
And Anedo had this message for the 49ers themselves.
Good luck. I mean, they're going to
need it?
Yeah, you're coming to our house. We're going to be loud.
Go Hawks. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Kickoff tomorrow set for 5 p.m. Listen right here on KIRO News Radio. President Trump is providing more details today about his plan for improving health care while lowering costs.
You're supposed to go into a hospital and get operated on. Then they send you a bill and you have to file for bankruptcy. Not going to let that happen.
He is urging Congress to quickly pass his proposal that he calls the Great Health Care Plan. Washington U.S. Senator Maria Cantwell wants more details as lawmakers remain at odds on extending those Affordable Care Act subsidies.
80,000 people in my state are now at risk of losing their health insurance.
President Trump claims his plan will bring down the cost of most common plans by more than 15%. San Juan County is making history as the first county in the state to implement a 32-hour work week. The idea emerged a couple years ago during labor contract negotiations. Workers' union was asking for cost of living adjustments, additional benefits, and more comparable pay. Shrinking the work week was a counter offer. Well, beware speeders and street racers. Police in Bellevue are looking for you. Bellevue PD's Drew Anderson says beginning this weekend, patrol officers will kick off their Safer Roads initiative.
They have reached out to the Bellevue Police Department asking us to really tackle what has been a concern, a growing concern for them, and that's speeding and that is street racing.
Anderson says the initiative will continue all over Bellevue indefinitely. Now to your traffic report brought to you by the KIRO Newsradio app. And right now the map is in decent shape right now. A lot of green. Lake bridges are running smoothly. Tacoma to Olympia wide open. Getting into Seattle, we still have those Revive I-5 slowdowns. The northbound slowdowns right around Mercer Street heading southbound. They'll hit the brakes starting around Northgate, but still only about a 25-30-minute drive from Linwood into Seattle. A couple slowdowns also on the S-curves from Renton to Bellevue. And 405 a little slow through Bothell. Heading southbound right now. Text app to 888-973-5476 to download the KIRO Newsradio app. Listen to your favorite shows, get the latest news and updates sent straight to your phone. Forecast is looking good for the weekend, staying dry, mostly sunny as well. Highs will be in the low 50s. Right now, 45 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the Gee and Ursula Show. We're going to lighten things up because, of course, there's a huge game tomorrow. Gee and I are wearing our Seahawks gear. I finally went to the pro shop at Lumen Field and got myself something. I'm really proud of it. It might be my favorite piece of Seahawks gear.
It's the best Seahawks gear I've ever seen you wear.
Thank you.
Looks
I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Well, you can check it out on YouTube. But, you know, they're going to be playing the 49ers, as you know. And I want to ask you, how are you getting ready for game day? Because you've got it very differently. We've also asked Aaron Granillo to stick around because you're a humongous baseball fan.
I am.
But are you a big football fan too?
Oh, absolutely. I watch every game. No doubt.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are you doing to get ready for tomorrow?
Well, first of all, 8 o'clock in the morning, I got a haircut appointment.
Okay.
And then after that haircut appointment, I'll go home, get ready. I already got my fit picked out for tomorrow.
And how did you determine what your fit is and what is it?
I found something that'll look good when the spotlight hits me. You know what I mean?
Well, that's a given.
Yeah. So, and then tomorrow I'll be at the stadium around 12 o'clock in preparation, rehearsals, and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So I'm getting ready now.
Are you going to be extra nervous?
Huh?
Are you going to be extra nervous because of the stakes of this tomorrow's game?
Yeah, I'm not playing.
How are you feeling? I don't know why I am so. I'm more worried about this game than I was going into the Mariners.
Because you're bought in to this team. That's why you're nervous. If you weren't nervous.
And it's a division rival. It's the playoffs. It's any given Sunday. You don't know what's going to happen.
And it's one game. Like, you don't have a chance to
I think
recoup.
are we touchdown? I think we're like 7.5-point favorites last I checked.
Yeah.
That makes me nervous. Whenever you see the line that big in a playoff game, 7.5 points, I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
seems late.
And I know there's been, because we all got the notice at the same time yesterday about Sam Darnold being questionable. And sure, we would love to have Sam Darnold out there on the field. But just like in real life, you got to have a backup. You know what I mean?
Well,
Ursula,
you asked me the question. You said if it were up to you, if I were head coach, which would never happen, but if I were the head coach, would I choose to hold him back and play Drew Lock? Or
play him in this game and risk the NFC Championship game and the Super Bowl.
And I said, it's so important for us to get through this game that I would play him.
I would too. I think an 80% Sam Darnold is better than 100% Drew Lock.
And she disagrees with us.
Yeah, I disagree with you guys because watch this. 100% Sam Darnold threw for 0 touchdowns against the Niners this season. And the Seahawks beat them.
So you're saying he's due.
What I'm saying, what I'm saying is
Seahawks can do it without him.
The Seahawks can beat them without him. Like if you think about this Seahawks team, check this out. When you think about the strengths of this Seahawks team, what's the first thing you talk about?
Defense. Yeah.
What's the second thing you talk about?
Well, specifically D-line and then the running game. Yeah. No,
so And the Seahawks were able, with that defense, to hold Brock Purdy to only 3 points in that offense. When previous to those 2 games, Brock Purdy threw for 5 touchdowns in each game. What do you think the Seahawks defense is going to do when they have a loud 12 support behind them here?
Oh, they should dominate. They should. They
Okay.
still have Christian McCaffrey, though.
You mentioned him yesterday, but here's
Christian
my question.
McCaffrey had
Brock Purdy.
Christian McCaffrey down there had 23 yards rushing.
I'm aware.
He was ineffective.
They have a good head coach, too. Shanahan's going to make adjustments. It's not like it's not going to be the same game script.
Let me tell you something.
That, G. Come on.
Y'all trying to figure out, give you all the reason why we shouldn't go on that date. Come on now. I could do this all day.
So would you start Drew Lock with, and if you see how the game flows, and if he's struggling, then you bring Darnold in?
I would start Drew Lock, and hopefully, because here's my number one reason as to why I would start Drew Lock. Because over the years, I have known what a mild strain with an oblique, what happens if you play that game, and the potential of what happens next.
Oh.
Just give him a cortisone shot.
I mean,
Yeah, I also know, though, what happens when you don't make it. And if we don't win tomorrow, how many, and we were playing with Drew Lock, how many people would be second guessing and like, we should have just played him slightly injured?
We're going to second guess either way. And the only thing that'll make us feel better is if they win. Because if they don't win and Drew Lock, and Sam Darnold was out there and he was 80% or 70%. Yeah.
What if Darnold starts and then he's struggling, then you make the move? Why not see if Darnold, how he's playing before you bring in Lock?
When you say struggling, what's struggling? Some interceptions?
Bad throws, no intercept. What if he's not making the throws that he needs to make?
You sure know how to pick and choose.
Funny you mentioned that.
He's struggling, but he just threw some incompletes. He didn't throw. There was no fumble.
Right.
There was no interception.
In a perfect world, right? I mean,
hey, you know what?
Yeah.
Listen, guys. Either way, I am comfortable with whatever decision that the head coach, Mike McDonald, makes for tomorrow. And I'm also comfortable in saying I believe that the Seahawks are going to win no matter what.
Okay, that makes me feel better. But like you, Aaron, I'm a little nervous. Okay, we've got 30 seconds. What's the number one food you're looking forward to eating tomorrow? And I know you're a foodie, Aaron.
This is so random.
Yes.
Smoked salmon dip.
No, that's not that random.
Okay. We're getting some good.
Do you have like pecans? Do you have the
I don't make it. I go to
the...
this, you heard of B&E? Shout out to them. They make a killer smoked salmon dip.
Okay.
So bringing that to a friend's house tomorrow.
Okay, G?
No, listen. Aaron Granello, the fact that he's bringing a smoked salmon dip to someone's house, you know what that tells me? Tells me he's going to Bellevue.
No, I'm going to the Highlands. We're Bellevue adjacent.
Bellevue. Okay. Hey, Paul, just real quick, what are you bringing? What are you eating?
I'm hosting, and I'm hopefully doing some smash burgers and enjoying some buffalo wings while my Denver Broncos take down the Buffalo Bills, hopefully.
Oh, that's right. He's not even hardly paying. No wonder
don't even talk about the biggest game of the weekend.
You're hosting?
Oh yeah, I host all the time. I like throwing parties, especially for this.
That's awesome.
Burger night.
Brady, you feel good about the Seahawks tomorrow?
Oh, absolutely. We're going to take them down.
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about.
I like it.
Yep.
All right.
Feeling good.
Coming up next, let's do some scenarios. Gee Ursula.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan, presented by Carter Subaru.
More like choke point. The new year brings a big new headache for the thousands of you commuting south on I-5 into Seattle. The latest phase of Revive I-5 is underway, and it won't be finished anytime soon. I've got you covered with traffic on the threes every morning from 6 to 9 on Seattle's Morning News. Nate Connors has you covered every afternoon. We're always hunting for alternate routes, and we'll help you get where you need to be a little faster. On KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
At Bible Law Group, our team reflects the same lessons learned by our founder, James Bible, while playing for legendary Husky coach Don James. Coach James always said it's amazing what gets done when nobody claims credit. That's the philosophy we carry into every case, because your victory is what matters at Bible Law Group. When your legal problems hit biblical levels and you feel like you're stuck in a lion's den of litigation, you need a legal team that won't back down. At Bible Law, we've secured over $40 million in settlements for our clients, and we're ready to fight for you. Find us online at BibleLawGroup.com.
Does retirement planning feel heavy, or maybe it's something like you just keep saying, I'll do it later, I'll do it later? Well, when it comes to plotting out your financial future, you really have to work with someone you trust. And for us, Trajan Wealth is that organization. Their advisors are fiduciaries, which means they're obligated to put your needs first. Their focus is on intention instead of urgency. And they start by asking how you want to live. And we're not talking about only in the future, but right now, what matters to you? What do you value? The goal is not to rush you into decisions. Trajan Wealth will help you feel grounded and informed. Trajan Wealth is a veteran-owned company. They work with families who want clarity without pressure. Trajan, spelled Trajan. Call them today for a free consultation at 206-656-3300. That's 206-656-3300, or visit TrajanWealth.com.
Advisory services through Trajan Wealth, LLC. SEC registered investment advisor. Client paid advertisement. Additional disclosures at TrajanWealth.com.
More than 4,000 women are diagnosed with breast cancer every year in Washington state. I'm Dr. Suzette Miranda with Northwest Hope and Healing. We provide a lifeline to breast and gynecologic cancer patients, and you can help us make a difference. Join us for Cork, Fork, and Support, an afternoon of wine tasting and inspiration on January 31st at Mary Hill Winery in Woodinville's Wine Country. Get your tickets now for Cork, Fork, and Support. Go to nwhopeandhealing.org to learn more.
This winter, drive with confidence in a Subaru from Subaru of Puyallup. From rainy commutes to icy roads, Subaru's legendary all-wheel drive and advanced safety are built for our winters. Subaru of Puyallup is known for something even better, a stress-free car buying experience. No pressure, no games, just friendly Subaru experts helping you find the right vehicle at the right price. Start shopping now and see our stress-free pricing exclusively at SubaruofPuyallup.com. Subaru of Puyallup, your stress-free dealership, part of the Harnish Auto family.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team. Build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try it for free. And you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
There is one real estate agent who's been helping KIRO listeners longer than anyone else, and that's Wes Jones with sellwithwes.com. Wes, you've helped KIRO listeners in good markets and more difficult ones. What do you think has been the secret to your success?
Thanks, Brandy. Experience has taught us that to outperform the market, we needed to do things differently from the status quo, that we needed to do more. Our exclusive system covers innovative marketing locally and internationally, leading to more eyeballs on your home, better listing prep for better showings, negotiation strategies that eliminate pesky buyer contingencies, and generate stronger offers. Through our exclusive client programs, our sellers enjoy an extraordinary marketing experience utilizing techniques a traditional agent cannot offer.
So if you want to sell your home faster, at a higher price, and with fewer contingencies, if you want more, visit sellwithwes.com. Sellwithwes.com, a better way to sell your home.
Guys, your New Year goals start now. Get limited time savings on our most popular treatments at Revive Men's Health. Visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com to see if you qualify to save hundreds.
Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home by taking advantage of its National Red Tag Sales event going on right now through January 25th. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag sales event going on right now. Discover the D.R. Horton difference. Visit drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder and equal housing opportunity builder.
It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Before I get to scenarios, I got to say something to my girl Mona, because Mona in Tacoma says that right now her house is divided. She has 49er fans in there, and she's, of course, from Tacoma and is a Seahawks fan. I got to tell you, what would you rather be divided on, a sports team or politics?
Sports team.
Yeah, agree. All right, scenarios.
Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario?
Okay, I'm writing you guys still in the car, engine off, because if I look at it again, I might say something I can't take back. They just said to me in a text, you don't fight for me anymore because I said I used to. And now I'm tired of fighting just to prove that I care. Every argument that I have with my significant other ends the same. Me having to explain my intentions, telling them that my intentions are for us, and then they're just telling me that it feels like my intentions don't matter. Cool. But when does my exhaustion actually count as impact? Right now, I'm carrying work stress, I'm carrying family stuff stress, life pressure, and somehow I'm still the villain in my relationship because I don't text back fast enough, or definitely I don't read minds. So here's the ugly truth that I haven't said out loud yet. I don't know if I'm going to miss them if they do end up breaking up with me. I know I'm asking myself the question that scares me more than losing them. But if I stay, am I betraying myself? And if I leave, am I giving up too soon? So I need you guys to tell me, when love starts feeling like a negotiation instead of safety, what's the move then? 888-973-5476. Ursula, you have the bet first.
Man, I feel like we've kind of had a few of these. And I just always say in relationships, it boils down to honesty and communication.
Mm-hmm.
And not to be cliche, but it sounds like there was a lack of communication, or the kind of communication was just constantly filled with tension and stress. And the part that I really felt in that whole thing was you have work stress, outside stress, this stress, that stress. And in a relationship, if that's also a constant source of stress, you have to ask yourself, is it worth fighting for?
Yeah.
And the only one who can answer that, basically the two people who are involved in that relationship. So that's the conversation you have. I feel like we are fighting constantly to make things work. And, what can we do to, it sounds like neither of them feel like they're being heard. And before I say just get out of it, I think it's like, ask yourself, are you doing something differently in your communication style? Mm-hmm. Can your partner do something differently in their communication style so that you can find out? I mean, there may be a whole nother thing going on that you're not even addressing. You know what I mean? But it's like having these feelings and then not trying to address it with just open communication.
You know what I recognize this. There are some relationships where one of the parties likes to just argue. Where there's one that it seems like no matter what, if things are going good, they somehow, some way come up with something, and it's almost like they feel better afterwards. Go ahead, what do you got, Ursula?
Oh, no, you're nailing it, because there are people who feel that's their comfort level, because that's all they've known. Maybe they grew up in a situation like that.
Yep.
And they seek the chaos.
Yeah.
And they don't feel fully alive if they don't have that constant chaos, that constant stress. Man, that's not sustainable.
And one last point to make. Sometimes when you enter into a relationship with someone else, you might know or not know if they have unpack the trauma from their most previous relationship? You don't know, or you might know.
And how are you going to know?
And how are you going to know?
Talk about it.
Well, a lot of times folk don't ask, hey, look, I know you was in a relationship a couple months ago or a year ago. Did you unpack that trauma? Did you get some therapy? Paul, what you got?
I'm with Ursula here. It all comes down to the you got to communicate and you got to make that decision of if it's worth is the juice worth the squeeze there. And I think if it's a constant back and forth and if neither of you are feeling all that supported, you got to either work together to figure out and address those issues to come to those terms, or you have to make that really tough decision. And I think it's harder than people think, than people think to say, oh, just walk away. Oh, even if you're in a contentious or tense relationship, it's hard to free yourself from that. But it's one of the most important decisions you can make. If you're not feeling loved or fought for or defended, then you're not in a partnership. You're not really doing what you should do as someone's partner. So hopefully you can communicate and get to that point where both sides are feeling supported. But if those communication issues, and as someone who has been in a relationship that had a lot of before my marriage, that had a lot of communication issues, it can really bring you down.
Ursula, what I think takes, again, sometimes there's things that only time can teach you. A lot of time it's what did they do, right? Like, what did they do in the relationship? And most people don't get to the level of, well, what did I do to make them continue to do what they do? Mm-hmm. Did you follow me on that?
It's easier to point the finger of blame than to actually put the mirror up in front of yourself and say, wait, what was my role in this?
Brady says get out. All right. Happy Fresh Fridays to everybody. Coming up on 11 o'clock hour, Ursula, we'll have Agree to Disagree. And at the top, what we going to do? Barbecue or mildew?
We are going to talk about a whole bunch of things, including Seahawks. We also need to talk about our Flex Friday.
Oh, Flex Fridays. We're going to talk about it. Next, Gee Ursula.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. K-A-R-S, Cars for Kids. 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
Start the new year taking active liver supplements from New Nordic. Online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com or at CVS, ShopRite, Meijer Grocery, or Wegmans.
Happy New Year, Susan. I really appreciate you picking up the bill for lunch.
I'm happy to. One of my New Year's resolutions is being better with money. So I've started using Upside, the free app that pays you cash back for buying gas.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yes, I earn cash back just for buying the gas I was already buying.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make $200 to $300 this year.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now in the App Store or Google Play and start earning cash back on everyday gas purchases. Use promo code EVENT for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's up to 50 cents per gallon on your next fill up. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code EVENT for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code EVENT. Code EVENT. Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
Join in on the conversation by sending a text to 888-973-5476. That's 888-973-KIRO.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Well, I'm here with my good buddy, Dr. Dan Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine. And you've heard from Dr. Dan's patients over the years how a simple stem cell procedure has successfully conquered their pain. Well, folks, now it's my turn. After years of dealing with knee pain from all the football abuse, I can say my knee pain now is almost 100% gone. How'd you do it, Dr. Dan?
Well, Brock, personally, I'm very happy that you did so well. And your story is like so many of our other patients who come in, former athletes and non-athletes as well, who have come in with chronic knee pain, and they are looking for alternatives besides knee replacement surgery. And we're happy to provide this service. It's been truly a game changer for so many folks. It's just been a pleasure to be part of this.
Consider Dr. Nelson, the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, including stem cell therapy. I was in and out with a couple of follow-ups. It's a non-surgical solution to pain using your own stem cells. Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD at 425-823-4000 or visit DanielNelsonMD.com. That's DanielNelsonMD.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. Renee Good, who died last week after she was shot by an ICE agent in Minneapolis, sustained at least 3 gunshot wounds and a possible 4th, according to a Minneapolis Fire Department report obtained by CBS News Minneapolis. There have been protests ever since. CBS's Ian Lee in Minneapolis also reports.
This morning, Minnesota Representative Ilhan Omar and Washington State's Pramila Jayapal held a hearing in St. Paul about alleged constitutional violations.
If they can erode the rights of some, they can do it to you. No one is safe.
President Trump has threatened to invoke the Insurrection Act and deploy troops to Minneapolis to directly conduct law enforcement.
President Trump says he will continue talks with Maria Corina Machado on the future of Venezuela. The Venezuelan opposition leader has made remarks at the Heritage Foundation a day after meeting with President Trump. Machado says she is confident Venezuela will have an orderly transition.
Once the regime is out and the transition is accomplished, the United States will not only be a safer nation, but one that will have more prosperity and strength in our hemisphere.
President Trump says thank you to Iran for not hanging political prisoners.
Iran canceled the hanging of over 800 people. They were going to hang over 800 people yesterday, and I greatly respect the fact that they canceled.
More evidence the flu season may be waning. CBS's Cammie McCormick.
The CDC says it's seen 2 straight weeks of decline in flu activity, a big drop in hospitalizations, and a significant decrease in visits to doctors' offices. The number of states reporting high flu activity has fallen from 44 to 36.
A bipartisan delegation of U.S. lawmakers has met with the leaders of Denmark and Greenland in Copenhagen to reassure them of congressional support despite President Trump's threats to seize the Arctic island. Republican Senator Lisa Murkowski.
Greenland needs to be viewed as our ally, not as an asset.
A heating unit is believed to be the cause of a deadly fire at a zoo in the Florida Panhandle.
The fire broke out early Thursday morning at Zoo World in Panama City Beach.
We can get to the backs of these enclosures.
Body cam video showed Bay County Sheriff's deputies breaking into cages to free the animals. They couldn't hold back zoo staff who wanted to run in and help.
That lady that just ran in there, stay with her.
The zoo's chief operating officer, Erica Newell, says 2 ruffed lemurs were saved.
However, despite efforts, 6 ruffed lemurs passed away from smoke inhalation.
Human error has been ruled out. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Stocks are slightly higher on Wall Street. This is CBS News.
Real crimes, real justice. Follow and listen to 48 Hours on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Coming up, we get you all ready for tomorrow's big Seahawks playoff game. But first, we welcome Lori to the real-time traffic desk.
And traffic is brought to you by the Seattle Seahawks. 509 at 160th. Look out for a collision. That one's in the right lane. Eastbound 18 before the West Valley Highway. You've got a stall. That's in the right lane. Boy, you are backed up all the way to I-5. Everett to Seattle, now an 11-minute delay. A little bit of fog through Linwood all the way to Northgate. About a 37-minute drive. And Linwood to Bellevue, a 5-minute delay, making that a 22-minute drive. Head to Seattle Seahawks, or actually Seahawks.com/tickets to secure your playoff seats today. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Aaron Granillo. The city is buzzing on this Blue Friday.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
Hawks welcome their rival, the 49ers, to Lumen Field tomorrow night for a divisional round playoff game. Now, with all the hype, questions about the health of quarterback Sam Darnold. He landed on the injury report yesterday with an oblique strain.
Just felt a little something and didn't want to, make it worse. And it was just a precautionary thing to be able to get in and get some rehab on it.
Offensive coordinator Clint Kubiak says they have a contingency plan with backup QB Drew Lock.
Yeah, I thought we had a really good practice. Drew got some reps in there and did a really good job. A lot of confidence in Drew. All of our guys.
Darnold says he is still in line to play. Kickoff at 5 p.m. right here on KIRO News Radio. The principal of Bainbridge High School has now been placed on paid administrative leave. This follows a recent DUI arrest.
The Bainbridge Island School District confirms to KIRO 7 that Christina Rogers was arrested the night of January 12th by the Paulsbo Police Department and has been placed on paid administrative leave. In an email sent to families, the district said Rogers was arrested on allegations of driving under the influence, reckless endangerment, and driving with a suspended license. According to police records, Rogers denied drinking alcohol and declined to perform a field sobriety test. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
A burglary in North Seattle turns violent overnight when a homeowner fought with an intruder in the front yard after that suspect broke in. Homeowner used a frying pan, the suspect a knife. Both were hospitalized. Police say the suspect faces burglary and assault charges if he survives. The Pierce County Sheriff is being condemned by his peers. The Washington Association of Sheriffs and Police Chiefs says Keith Swank crossed a line yesterday when he ripped a bill that would ban masks for law enforcement.
Just for the record, my deputies don't wear masks, but once you pass this law that they can't, I will not only allow them, but I will encourage them to do so just to see what you do.
He was speaking directly to Senate lawmakers who introduced that bill. The Sheriff's Association says Swank's comments do not reflect its views and warns he could lose his spots in that group. Now to the forecast, looking at clear skies for today, sunshine for tomorrow's playoff game, and we are staying dry through the weekend and into next week. Right now, 45 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Hey, what's up, everybody? You know why I'm here. Happy Fresh Fridays to all of you. That's right. I'm almost out the stadium. It's almost time to end at work, and this is where Ursula has to do all the work. She does it all the week anyway, so it doesn't matter. Appreciate you all guys hanging out with us here on the Gee and Ursula Show. Good morning to you, Ursula.
Good morning. Hey, coming up at the end of the segment, we are going to do our little Flex Fridays check-in.
Okay.
Because we said we were going to hold you accountable in 2026. Make sure that you are still doing some kind of exercise, doing some kind of lifting or something to just get you moving. And so I'm glad to say that I didn't have to do a last-minute run to the gym just so I could say I could do it. I did it earlier in the week and then continued to try to keep moving. But we're going to check in with all of you because it is very important. Someone said, hey, you didn't do it at 9:47. Yeah, we had an interview, but we will still hold each other accountable.
Can you tell the people what you just told me? I'm excited about one thing that we're going to do this hour. Did you say something about Landman?
Yes, there is. We're going to talk about it because it is now being taught in a school. They're using that as a something to talk. I mean, I've never seen you so hyped about a show.
It's changed my life.
Wow. Okay, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that. Text us 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO.
Top stories at 11
on the Gee and Ursula Show.
Washington's affordable housing crisis isn't just lingering, it's getting worse, and now Microsoft is sounding the alarm. The company is saying that Washington needs 55,000 new housing units every year just to keep up. And last year, Microsoft President Brad Smith pointed out we only issued permits for about 34,000, and the gap keeps getting wider.
We cannot build more housing unless we make it cheaper for people to build more housing.
And Brad Smith says the problem isn't the demand, it's that it's simply too expensive and too slow to build here. And you might be asking, like, why is Microsoft president talking about this? Well, the company has spent $750 million on housing efforts since 2019. And now Smith is urging lawmakers to step in. He says developers are increasingly taking their money to other states where projects pencil out faster and cost a lot less. And in this new report that Microsoft has done, they're talking about things like we need to repurpose underused land, maybe look at like empty strip malls for multi-unit housing instead of letting it sit vacant for years.
When you hear any discussion and conversation about affordable housing, does it move you at all? Do you, when you hear the buzzword affordable housing, Ursula, do you say, oh, I wonder what's next? What do you think when you really hear that? And then I'll tell you what I think.
I think it's aspirational. I just haven't heard anything that leads me to believe that we are ever going to have enough affordable housing. The other thing I think of is, and I know that you think it's just a buzzword, I also think that what is affordable? Everyone has a different idea of what is affordable. There's very little that is actually affordable here. But one of the things that I do know, and where I think Microsoft's president is correct, is that there are way too many loopholes, and I mean, not loopholes, but hurdles to clear. I hear it from
bureaucracy.
I hear it from developers. I hear it from, people who are in the construction industry. Are like, it takes way too long. So if you have a housing crisis, and I printed out some information about, how it compares here to other states, it does cost more per unit here in the state of Washington than many other states. And in fact, California is closer to ours, but there are other states where it's so much less. Mm-hmm. And a lot of that is in the permitting process, not just materials, but all these different hoops that you have to go through.
Yeah.
Like what when you hear it, you tune out.
I tune out, and it reminds me of Chihuahua. Right?
Okay.
You go to somebody's house and that dang dog is just barking. Barking. All bark, but no bite. And the affordable housing conversation is used as buzzwords. It's used to campaign. It's used to, hey, look at us. We're doing the right thing. And we want the right things. But like I keep continuing to bring up the example of 3-Card Monte that keeps getting played. Mm-hmm. Pay attention to what they do and not what they say. So it's interesting that everybody is using affordable housing as we need to. But it's interesting in your top 5 stories every single day is how we are struggling with affordability. Mm-hmm. And wait a minute. It's not getting better.
Yeah.
It keeps getting worse.
Well, and the other thing that I think that is true about what he says, I mean, we talk about how many empty buildings there are in downtown. I think ultimately we're never going to get them full again like they were pre-pandemic.
Right.
And so what can you do there? I mean, I think it's going to require creativity. I think it's going to require everybody working full time in office, working when it comes to the permitting process, et cetera, anything, this is where I think he's correct. I actually think the mayor of Seattle is correct in saying we've got to figure out how to do this a lot faster, not to the point where you lose out on safety or quality, but just get rid of the bureaucracy. Otherwise, you will not make any progress when it comes to this affordability situation or affordable housing. But I hear what you say, because it feels like we've been talking about it, certainly since even before we started our show 6 years ago. Okay, this is sure to get your attention, though, because, as we know, the road to the NFC Championship runs straight through a familiar enemy, that is the San Francisco 49ers, and our very own Luke Ducey. I heard you this morning bright and early out there at Lumen Field. But you had a chance to check out the field. It's looking pretty spiffy.
Yeah, it was buzzing this morning outside Lumen Field. It was buzzing yesterday. They let me onto the field yesterday. I got into Lumen with a PR team, and I talked with their grounds crew. And we're going to play video for you on the YouTube feed. You got to get on the YouTube feed because you're only going to see it here. Check this out. This video is incredible. We'll pop that up in just a second. Yeah, check this out. See the lights? Nice. The lights are going. They were. I was there at the right time. The lights were going. They were. They got logos on the ground. See the official division, playoff logo that they were had heaters out, drying those things. But the lights were going on because they were practicing for the halftime show. Little John's playing halftime.
Nice.
I was staring over at the tour groups who were back behind ropes and looking at me, and I was looking at them, and I was just smiling. I was so happy. They got the new stencils in. They even have the Hawkeye was popping. They even got a Seahawk logo. Look at that. Look at that. It looks great, doesn't it? They've got a Seahawk logo. They went across the street, these crews, and they painted one on T-Mobile Parks Field as well. So you'll probably see that in TV coverage. Really, really cool. But this is a big game. It's all or nothing, right? It's win or go home. Winner obviously goes to the NFC Championship. That will be us, I'm confident, the Seahawks. So we'll come right back to Lumen next week and play either the Rams or the Chicago Bears to see who goes to the Super Bowl. But Seahawks, good news. Safety Kobe Bryant is back on track to play tomorrow after missing the last 2 games. But Sam Darnold with that injury. So, I love talking with the 12s. Love talking with them. And I asked them, how are you feeling? Let me ask you all. How are you feeling? Are you feeling nervous? Are you excited? Are you sick to your stomach? Yeah,
I'm feeling a little nervous, and I'm feeling a little more nervous because she's trying to make me not feel so bad about it. But this whole Sam Darnold report where he says, I can still play. I think I'll be fine. But they said that he was questionable. It's like, what? The timing couldn't be worse.
You're not crazy. I feel sick to my stomach, too. And I'm a pacer. And so here are some other 12s. Here's what they had to say.
I'm really excited.
I'm thrilled, I'm excited, and I'm cautiously optimistic.
I think we can run the ball on them. I think our defense is going to do great.
I'm excited. I'm a Seattle native, and it's great to see us playing at this level.
So, a lot of positivity. I think people are really into it. And I also asked them, if you could talk some trash, because there has been some trash talking coming out of the 49ers camp, and these excuses from the whiners about injuries. We don't want to disparage anyone, getting an injury. George Kittle got that, ripped his Achilles a couple games ago. That was horrible. You don't want to see that. But, they're blaming those things like on power lines and a substation next to their training facility. What is that? That's just kind of weird stuff. What is that? Anyways, for 49 for the 12s anyway, I asked them if you could say anything and smack talk back to them. What would you say? Here you go. Here's what we'd say.
Stay home. I'm sorry that you wasted your time.
Well, there's a reason why we call them the whiners. They're always complaining about something.
Good luck. You're coming to
They're going to need it?
Yeah, you're coming to our house.
Gee, what do you think about that? Good luck. You're coming into our house.
Yeah, I think that if you are under the age of 30 and you're a 49ers fan, I need you to sit this out. Because the last time the 49ers won something was 1995. That was 31 years ago. So if you're under the age of 30, you don't even know what winning is like. You just know about a museum filled with dusted trophies and a VHS tape. Now, I want to ask you, because this is important right here, and I'll tell you guys why I'm not nervous about this game.
Yeah, why aren't you nervous? We're freaking out over here.
Yeah, well, you did those interviews and you were talking to the people, and I heard the one person says, I'm confident because of the Seahawks defense and their run game. What time did you do those interviews yesterday?
That was yesterday. What time? That was. God, you put me on the spot. It was.
Was it before?
It was afternoon, early afternoon.
Was it before or after the news came out about Sam Darnold?
Darnold, you know what? It was right then because I went into the team store and it was breaking news on the TV, and then I started telling people. And some people knew, and some people were like, "Oh my God, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?"
Yeah. So the reason I'm bringing that up is because when people are talking about how the Seahawks are going to win, usually it starts out with the defense and then it goes to the run game. And no matter who's the quarterback tomorrow and whoever Mike McDonald's decision is to be the quarterback, I'm confident that this team that continues to beat up on the 49ers, the team that continues to make the 49ers little bro, look it up and look up. You guys are better with technology than me. Ursula loves research. Look up the all-time win record between the Seahawks and the 49ers. When you see that record, you tell me who little bro is, right? When you look at this century, have the 49ers won a Super Bowl this century? If the answer is no, you're little bro.
You're absolutely right because I looked up those stats too, and we own the all-time record and points as well. If you take all the points that have been scored in all the games, I think it's 56 total games we played against the 49ers. You add those up, we win each game by an average of 4 points.
And so somebody just said, gee, but the 49ers were in the Super Bowl in this century. I know they haven't been there since 1995, to which, have you ever seen someone left at the altar? Right?
I can't say I have.
So if you're a 49er fan and you're happy about losing a Super Bowl, good for you. Good for you.
Okay, I like this. Okay, I'm feeling a little better.
I am too. He made me feel a little bit better.
Okay. What are we thinking? Paul, what are we thinking of score tomorrow?
Score tomorrow, give me 21-13 Seahawks. Wow.
What are you thinking, G?
I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. It's going to be similar to what happened down at Levi Stadium. Give me 16-13 Seahawks.
Okay.
I'm going for a blowout. I think it's going to be like 35 to 10 or something like that. And I tell you why, because I think the defense is going to have a couple of turnovers and they're going to score on those turnovers. I really believe that. Can I tell you?
I mean, that's awesome. So you're nervous, but you're still thinking it's going to be a blowout.
Yeah, and that's where things go wrong usually for me because first quarter rolls around and then I got to go change my jerseys up, my hats because I'm superstitious as well, and I'm wearing the wrong things.
I thought you were going to change something else.
So that too sometimes depends on how much bourbon I've had. Can I tell you though that I ran it through AI? AI predicted who's going to win.
Okay.
This will make you happy. Okay. ChatGPT predicted 24-20 Seahawks. Claude, another popular AI platform, predicted Seahawks win. Copilot, Seahawks win.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going with it.
Vegas has got them by 7 points, too.
Okay. I'm going with it.
Go defense.
Luke, thank you.
Thank you very much for having me.
I wonder if you could ask ChatGPT, like, if you're single or something, like, hey, ChatGPT, how long will I be single for? I mean, he was doing predictions.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, you can type that in. I'd be really curious to see what it says.
You know what I just typed into AI while you guys were talking? How would you describe Landman? Because that is, like you said, a life-changing show for you.
Now, I'm serious when I said it. I've told this to Luke. This show for me has really been life-changing. I don't care what your politics are. If you are just you might think, like, I don't want to watch anything that Paramount does. I don't want to watch this or that. Whatever. Put that to the side and follow along with a good show.
It's a modern Western drama in West Texas.
Yeah.
So is the crisis manager for an oil company who has to navigate the dangerous high-stakes world of oil drilling and balancing big business with the roughneck culture. Does that describe it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
But what makes it so life-changing, though?
Well, it's life-changing for me.
Yeah.
Luke, what makes it good to you?
You know, the acting. I'll tell you. You know, it started. I think we're in season 2. I think. Whatever season we're in, they pump money into it because it came off. It's the same maker of Yellowstone. You know, it's a good show. So Billy Bob Thornton is one of the main characters, but then they got Andy Garcia. He's in the mix now, and who's
Sam Elliott.
Sam Elliott. the acting in some of these scenes is just incredible.
Wow.
I love that. And I kind of like, following the whole business angle of something I don't know anything about, like the oil business. I think it's pretty rough and wild, and I love that storyline too.
And learning something new about it. But did you see that there is a college that is offering a course based on Landman?
Every dime you ever made, I pumped it out of the ground.
Texas Christian University's business school is offering an 8-week course inspired by Paramount Plus' Landman, starring Billy Bob Thornton. The show, produced by CBS's parent company, Paramount Skydance, the focus, the professionals who negotiate land and mineral rights for energy companies. Professor Tom Seng says members of the American Association of Professional Landmen will do most of the teaching to prepare the next generation to step into the oil patch.
If you want to fight about it, lawyer up, big boy.
Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Of course, TCU is offering the class because TCU is the college that's talked about. TCU is where the daughter is going to be attending. Oh, isn't that something, Luke?
Oh.
Yeah, so the daughter's a cheerleader at Texas Christian University, TCU, and they've got all the banners and things there.
Yeah, so they
in the
do
show.
That. And one of the things that I found out, what Taylor Sheraton did, I saw an interview with Billy Bob Thornton, and he talked about how they write the story based on some of the things that you are really into. Like Billy Bob Thornton's wife, ex-wife, whatever you want to call her in the show, she's really into cooking and culinary in real life. That's her thing. She loves the culinary.
That makes sense.
And so on the show, every night when Billy Bob Thornton and they come for dinner, there's a different theme night. And so they run the office out of the home. And I don't know.
Yeah,
man.
I mean, others are texting in. Layla just said the show has so many life lessons. I love Landman. And folks are talking about, 360 says, you're talking about Landman cast and you don't mention Demi Moore?
We had this discussion. We had this talk.
Go ahead, Luke. You go first.
I don't think, and this person's gonna hate me in the thing. I don't like her acting. I don't think she's a very good actress.
Okay, my turn.
I think she's underrated.
Demi Moore is nailing this.
Oh, that's awesome.
She's good. She's good in the show.
She's better in this than she was in Ghost.
Don from Queen Anne says Landman is all of this, and it's also very funny.
It's so good.
So often.
Hey, Luke, before you go, did you like the way they handled the pronouns discussion?
Interesting. Yeah, I think that everything they discuss, and they get into a lot of different everything, all of it, and they handle it in a way that addresses it, head on. They go right into it because that's what people are talking about in real life. It's interesting they do that.
Thanks, Luke. Agree to disagree next. Gee Ursula.
Your old furnace ain't nice, and your toes are like ice. DayandNight.net. Day and Night gives you a free furnace or water heater with installation of an AC or heat pump.
If you're not sure your furnace will make it through another winter, call us to install a proper, long-lasting, efficient heating system backed by our lifetime workmanship guarantee, so you won't be left out in the cold.
Install an AC or heat pump and get a free furnace or water heater from Day and Night Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
DayandNight.net. How about a New Year's resolution where the commitment takes just one day and the results can last a lifetime? Address years of hair loss like I did with Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment. Using your own natural hair, Advanced Hair can restore your bald spot, receding hairline, or thinning. All backed by Advanced Hair's guarantee. Celebrate the new year with a free consultation, $250 off, and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Breast cancer is a tough battle for anyone to fight. But when you can't work, care for your kids, or even put food on the table, that diagnosis can be devastating. I'm Dr. Suzette Miranda, a plastic surgeon who is proud to support Northwest Hope and Healing. Our mission is to provide a lifeline for breast and gynecologic cancer patients. We cover essentials like food, utilities, and childcare, so patients can focus on healing. For more than 25 years, Northwest Hope and Healing has distributed over $3 million to thousands of local cancer patients, and you can help make a difference in our community. Join us on Saturday, January 31st, for Cork, Fork, and Support, an afternoon of fine wine gourmet cuisine, and inspiration at Mary Hill Winery in the heart of Woodinville wine country. Get your tickets now for Cork, Fork, and Support on January 31st. Go to nwhopeandhealing.org to learn more. That's nwhopeandhealing.org.
Thank you, Dr. Wagner. I have a really bad left hip. In fact, this other doctor's like, well, you're going to have to get a hip replacement. I was like, oh, my God. He goes, how old are you? I told him, well, you're going to have to wait a couple of years because we don't want you to wear the hip out. We want you and the hip to both go to heaven together. I was like, well, in the meantime, well, try stretching, aspirin. I was like, I'm not doing that. I'm in pain. I can't sleep. I could barely walk. I'd get off a plane and I'm like struggling to even make it down the ramp. I go to see Dr. Wagner. He explains to me how the stem cell procedure works. It's 90 minutes, and I'm telling you right now, I love it. So rather than surgery, make an appointment to see Dr. Wagner. It could be the game changer for you, like it's been for a whole bunch of other people as well. So whether it's your hip or your wrist or your shoulder, your knee, check out Dr. Mark Wagner. I'm telling you right now, stem cell procedure could be the answer for you, as it's been for me. You want to find out more? drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
Meet Matthew Preston. Inside his apartment, everything he holds dear is protected by Progressive's renter's insurance, like his laptop and a surprisingly valuable collection of baseball bobbleheads. Outside his apartment, his laptop is still protected, as are his bobbleheads, which he carries around with him for reasons no one knows. Renters, the limits of protection aren't just the four walls of your home. When you're in Progressive's Protection Zone, get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
Styles change. 12s grow. But Seahawks love? That's forever. From the young fans in their fresh new jerseys to the lifelong 12s in their throwback jackets. At the Pro Shop, we've got gear for 12s of every age and every walk of life. This is the Pro Shop. Shop official Seahawks gear in-store at Lumen Field and the Landing in Renton, or online at Seahawks.com/Pro Shop.
Paid political announcement.
More than half of short-term rentals across Washington are booked by Washingtonians. Families traveling for their children's tournaments and games. Firefighters fighting wildfires. Traveling nurses providing critical care. Every day, short-term rentals are helping make travel more affordable. Legislators in Olympia are considering increasing taxes on short-term rentals. But with the cost of everything going up, we can't take another price increase. Keep travel affordable for us. Paid for by Airbnb helps our state thrive host pack.
Carter Subaru is Seattle's only Subaru dealer with the largest selection of Subarus in Washington. With over 800 vehicles in stock, they have exactly what you're looking for with savings you'll love. Visit Carter Subaru in Shoreline and Ballard or anytime at cartersubaru.com.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Aaron Granillo. Buckle up, Seahawks fans. The road to the Super Bowl runs straight through a familiar enemy, the San Francisco 49ers. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey asked 12s about their superstitions heading into tomorrow's big playoff game.
From wearing your lucky jersey, sitting in the same spot every game, or not shaving through a playoff run, the 12s have a lot of superstitions. Not everyone, but a lot of them.
I've given up on wanting to own any superstitions.
I only wear whatever uniforms they're wearing on field. So whenever I see that, that's what I wear. San Francisco just gives us a tough time. I couldn't stop pacing last game.
But whatever you do, don't say the Hawks are in the Super Bowl before they're in the Super Bowl. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
President Trump is promoting his plan to reform health care.
You're going to have great health care at low price. Now you have terrible health care at a high price.
He says the plan will bring down the cost of most common plans by more than 15%. Washington U.S. Senator Maria Cantwell says she needs more specifics.
We need more than a one-page plan. There is a lot of details that go into something that's 18% of U.S. GDP. This is almost $1 in every $5 spent in the American economy.
The president says his plans includes health care savings accounts and more transparency on prices. 3 children in Snohomish County have now been diagnosed with measles. Health officials say the cases are connected to exposure from a family visiting from South Carolina. Health Department has released a list of locations that family visited, which you can find at mynorthwest.com. None of the affected children were vaccinated. CBS's Camille McCormick now reports there is evidence the flu season may be waning.
The CDC says it's seen 2 straight weeks of decline in flu activity, a big drop in hospitalizations, and a significant decrease in visits to doctors' offices. The number of states reporting high flu activity has fallen from 44 to 36. Health officials are calling the current respiratory virus season moderate. That includes COVID and RSV. There have been at least 18 million flu illnesses this season.
Takes us to 11:33. We have Lori at the real-time traffic desk.
Traffic is brought to you by Seattle Sports. 509 at 160th. We still have a collision that's in the right lane. Linwood to Seattle now just an 8-minute delay. Linwood to Bellevue is 18 minutes. And then heading from Bellevue all the way to Renton, you're going to be heavy through those S-curves. That's a 14-minute drive. And it will take you 9 minutes Federal Way to Tacoma. Download the Seattle Sports app to stay in the know with the latest news, scores, and opinions about your favorite teams. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
Mostly sunny skies today and into next week. Highs each day in the low 50s, overnight lows in the mid-30s. Right now, 46 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO Newsradio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the Gee and Ursula Show. It is a fresh Friday, and before we get, you just can't help yourself. Before we get to agree to disagree, just real quick, because you know what, we're going to do it at 11:47. We got to check in.
Oh yeah, Flex Fridays.
Yeah, Flex Fridays.
There's some folks that worked out.
Yeah, they're ready. Okay, so 11:47. Promise. We will talk about it then. But right now, it is time for Agree to Disagree, brought to you by Guardian Roofing and Gutters.
One of these days, we just got to take off the gloves, just really go at it.
All right, I'm like a lot of you here, and I can't stop thinking about the playoffs. Yes, the NFL playoffs continue this weekend. Of course, the Seahawks taking on the 49ers. My beloved Denver Broncos taking on the Bills tomorrow. But since I've been in Seattle, I have gotten to experience a lot of playoff sports. And I'm curious, Gee, I'm going to start with you. Which sport has the best fan experience for the playoffs? Is it hockey with the Kraken when they were making a run? Is it a run to the Super Bowl? Is it the magic of a baseball season or the Storm winning a WNBA title? Which one is the best playoffs in all of sports?
I'm going to pull a Ursula here and just tell you that they're all great in their own way. Ursula?
You really have hit home plate, haven't you?
Well, you know,
iPad's already getting folded up here, segment ahead of time.
News Boss is closed officially.
Oh, that thing closed. That thing is closed.
Okay. I will say that for me, the playoff run for the Mariners season this time around was incredible. Mm-hmm. And it's just because of the duration of it, too.
Right.
And it's something that we had never experienced. And so even for those of us who are not diehard baseball fans, it was something that, and this was a season where we really got a chance to know players that I feel like in some of the past years we haven't. So I would say for me, the Mariners playoffs were, I was more invested in that. But, you know, if we make it past tomorrow, which I think we are, I think that I can see where G would say each has their own charm.
Are you guys worried about any jinxes? We've had a lot of confidence about the Seahawks here. G, do you believe in jinxes in sports? We said the Seahawks
not anymore. The older I get, the less stitious. The less superstitious I get. It is what it is. Like sometimes people will say, "Oh, don't jinx yourself. Don't say that. Don't say that you're going to win." I mean, I think when you say things like, "Hey, it's superstitious to say that your team is going to win," or it sounds arrogant and it sounds cocky, I think that plays into, not to get deep, but I think that plays into your real life psyche. There's a lot of people who don't go for that position don't go for that job. Go try to introduce yourself to that person, because you're always second-guessing yourself and you're always thinking that I can't win.
You know, I'm never going to knock somebody. Someone was joking around and basically giving people a bad time on our Gee and Ursula Show page, saying how silly it would be if you had superstitions. I'd be a hypocrite, because guess what I do? Every time, and you and I have talked about this, every time I get on a plane, I want to make sure that I do 3 taps on the side of the plane.
Same.
I have to do it. I still do it. I will make a point, even if I have a bag on one hand, I will switch bags.
Every time. Right hand. Knock.
Yes. So, you know, if you've got a superstition, Cliff in Woodinville texted me yesterday and said his wife is painting her toenails blue, I think it was, and he's going to wear the same exact thing. You know what? You do you. If that makes you feel more comfortable, I think that's great. Molly put on our Gee and Ursula Show Facebook page that she's going to tune in and listen to Steve Rabel, and she says that makes for a calmer heart attack than watching. Now, Steve does such a great job of calling the games, absolutely. But I'm just going to say that tomorrow we're also going to be celebrating my friend Laura's birthday at the same time. So I just know for sure it's going to be a great time. But I hope that there's more than just tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, real quick, Brady's a sports fan. Brady, what's up? How about you? That same question that Paul asked as far as excitement.
Best excitement in playoffs?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a close one for me, but I got to go baseball and hockey. Those are the two to me that are just more entertaining. There's a lot more action with them. I feel there's just a lot more hype around it. I mean, I kind of think the NBA is kind of more lackluster in these days, and plus I don't actually have a real team to root for.
Man, the NBA,
they've fallen off in terms of like popularity and appealing. Oh, yeah. But baseball and hockey.
Can I get some more insight into the 3 taps on the airplane? I know we got to move on, but what is that?
I just always pray for a safe flight.
Okay.
And for me, it's like, you know what? It's worked for me so far. I'm just going to keep on knocking on the.
Like when you're walking, when you walk into like the exterior.
So just so you know, there's 2 things that I still do that's pretty juvenile that I don't really like to share with people. But Ursula brought it up. One, the plane deal. Do I allow people to necessarily see me?
I try to hide it.
I try to hide it. Where did it stem from? It stemmed from the beginning. I used to be scared to fly, right? And so that's kind of like my thing. And I still do it. The other thing is growing up in Chicago, the tunnels when you go with the drive-through, because back before stoplights and back before, like in the olden days, we had this old little bridge that you drove under. And it was so small that only one car could fit either way. So what would happen is when you would drive through, you would honk the horn, right? Well, they made it wider when I got older a little bit. So when my dad would go through, it was his thing to still honk the horn in the tunnel. To this day, if I'm in a tunnel, I honk the horn.
Oh.
One time, my wife asked me, why'd you honk the horn? And I ignored it. I don't talk about my weird obsession with honking the horn in the tunnel.
But now she knows because she listens to the show.
That's the only way she knows. I've literally never talked about it.
All right, this was inspired quickly here after our landman conversation. Earlier this week, I just sat down and I watched Marty Supreme, one of the latest big movies to come out here. So, Ursula, I have a simple question for you. Would you rather watch a perfect season of television or a perfect movie? And perfect is your definition. Basically, whatever scratches that itch for you. Would you rather, and you could say binge the season, watch the season, however you want. The perfect viewing experience for both. Would you rather sit down for a TV show or a movie?
I would say that I would rather have the perfect movie. And the reason I say that is because I'm one and done, but it's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And with my problem with even Landman, as Gee has mentioned on the air, I have become very busy in terms of my social life.
Right.
And it's hard to settle in and really devote time to one show unless I do a binge watch. And that's getting harder and harder for me.
But first of all, excellent question. And I'm glad, of course, Ursula and I disagree on this. I look at TV shows and movies the same way you look at getting ready to eat a Kit Kat.
Okay.
I think that I can't trust you if you eat both at the same time.
Okay.
As opposed to breaking it up and eating a Kit Kat. That's how I am about, I don't want movies anymore. I want a show. I want you to spread that thing out, boss. I want you to spread it out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And you have something to look forward to.
Yeah.
Well, and also because you are super, super busy with not just our show, but also these other jobs that you do, and you travel a lot, that for you, your peace is at home.
Yeah.
I get it.
I like the shows. How did I do with that analogy on the
Did you
Kit
hear the
Kat?
streaming, though? I like it.
Right.
You don't trust me, though, because if I eat both sides at once, sometimes you're hungry. I'm just kidding. I haven't even eaten a Kit Kat in forever.
Can't eat a Kit Kat. You can't just chomp out of a Kit Kat. You got to break that thing up.
Brady, Brady, you eat a Kit Kat, you split it up, right?
You have to split them up. I have questions about your mental state if you don't.
Oh, good grief. G part 2.
All right. Flex Fridays. Have you gone to the gym? You been thinking about it? Let's talk about it. Next, Gee Ursula.
Are your investment dollars working as hard as they should be? You've spent years building your future. Don't let outdated advice put it at risk. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. We're a veteran-owned firm proud to bring a new standard of financial care to the Seattle area. Our nationally recognized advisors are fiduciaries, ethically bound to put your interests first. That's the highest standard of care in the industry. As a privately held company, we answer to you, our valued clients, not shareholders. For households with $500,000 or more, let us build you a customized plan. From Bellevue to Tacoma, get advice you can count on. It's time to take a fresh look at your financial plan. Call Trajan Wealth, 206-656-3300. That's 206-656-3300. Trajan Wealth. Plan smarter, dream bigger.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
This winter, drive with confidence in a Subaru from Subaru of Puyallup. From rainy commutes to icy roads, Subaru's legendary all-wheel drive and advanced safety are built for our winters. Subaru of Puyallup is known for something even better, a stress-free car buying experience. No pressure, no games. Just friendly Subaru experts helping you find the right vehicle at the right price. Start shopping now and see our stress-free pricing exclusively at SubaruofPuyallup.com. Subaru of Puyallup, your stress-free dealership, part of the Harnish Auto family.
Well, I'm here with my good buddy, Dr. Dan Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine. And you've heard from Dr. Dan's patients over the years how a simple stem cell procedure has successfully conquered their pain. Well, folks, now it's my turn. After years of dealing with knee pain from all the football abuse, I can say my knee pain now is almost 100% gone. How'd you do it, Dr. Dan?
Well, Brock, personally, I'm very happy that you did so well. And your story is like so many of our other patients who come in, former athletes and non-athletes as well, who have come in with chronic knee pain, and they are looking for alternatives besides knee replacement surgery. And we're happy to provide this service. It's been truly a game changer for so many folks. It's just been a pleasure to be part of this.
Consider Dr. Nelson, the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, including stem cell therapy. I was in and out with a couple of follow-ups. It's a non-surgical solution to pain using your own stem cells. Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD at 425-823-4000 or visit DanielNelsonMD.com. That's DanielNelsonMD.com.
Meet Matthew Preston. Inside his apartment, everything he holds dear is protected by Progressive's renter's insurance, like his laptop and a surprisingly valuable collection of baseball bobbleheads. Outside his apartment, his laptop is still protected, as are his bobbleheads, which he carries around with him for reasons no one knows. Renters, the limits of protection aren't just the four walls of your home. When you're in Progressive's Protection Zone, get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers.
You're still grooving, still connecting, still loving, still turning up, still thriving. You still got it, but your immune system, it weakens as you age. That's where vaccines come in. They help train and strengthen your immune response to fight off respiratory illnesses like flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, or COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Book in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home by taking advantage of its National Red Tag Sales event going on right now through January 25th. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales event going on right now. Discover the D.R. Horton difference. Visit drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder and equal housing opportunity builder.
Do you notice sounds coming from your crawl space or attic, or possibly stale or foul odors in your home? This could be that rodents have gotten into your attic and crawl and have made it their home. They tear up the insulation to make nests to have babies. They contaminate it with their biological waste, which can be harmful to your health. And they ruin your home's energy blanket, costing you thousands of dollars a year. If you even think you may have a problem, call Insulation Northwest today, and we will come to your home as soon as tomorrow and perform a free, no-obligation inspection to determine what the problem is. This inspection normally costs $199, but it's yours free just for calling today. If we discover any problem with rodents in your home, we can get them out and keep them out and restore your home's protective insulation blanket back to brand new condition. Let Insulation Northwest give peace and comfort back to you and your family and save you thousands of dollars in energy savings. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com. Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it today at Cars4Kids.org. Your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call 1-877-CARS4KIDS to donate your car today. That's Cars with a K.
At Les Schwab, we've been changing the tire game for more than 70 years. We design our own exclusive tires to give you more tires made for the roads you drive, less compromise. All backed by America's best tire warranty included in every tire we sell. It's more unbeatable tire warranty, less charging you extra, like the other guys. It's all about you getting more from less. Stop by or book an appointment at leschwab.com.
It's Gee Ursula, everybody. I almost forgot to say something. Welcome back into the show, but it's now time to check in on Flex Fridays. What's up?
Well, I'm happy to report that I did not wait until Thursday night to go to the gym.
Okay.
I have to admit that on week 1, that is what I did, but I had been doing weights.
Okay.
Hand weights, and trying to use kind of unusual opportunities to do just that.
Okay.
For example, during show prep. I would just kind of keep moving.
Yeah.
Stand up, keep moving instead of being, cocooned in my bed. I would stand up and try to do the hand weights and that kind of thing. Another thing that I'm doing, in addition to going to the gym, and this time at the gym, I actually not only did treadmill for a half hour, but I did the weight training. I went double the amount that I did the first time.
Look at you.
Which was only 30 minutes. But still.
Only 30 minutes. That's fantastic. Tramal in Federal Way says, I have not gone to the gym yet, but it has been a week and 3 days since I've stopped drinking.
Oh, that's huge.
Tramal, that's
that
awesome.
That is humongous. That's
awesome.
Fantastic. And I know that folks have been also posting on our Gee and Ursula Show page what they've been doing. So keep it up. Yep. I do feel a lot better already. It has allowed me to sleep better, I think, a little bit.
You haven't been complaining about your sleep?
Well, it's still somewhat of an issue, but I definitely notice that if you keep moving, it does help quite a bit.
Right. Paul, have you checked in on any workout this week?
We got a kettlebell at the house. I'm getting in my kettlebell routine. So I'm trying to do I've been slacking a little bit, but I want to make it a goal for 25 kettlebell squats a day.
Hey,
nice.
You know what? Thank you for bringing that up, Paul. During the pandemic, I did a lot of kettlebell stuff at the house. There's apps that you can go to, or YouTube you can look at, and just free kettlebell
exercise.
So for people who don't know what a kettlebell is, I mean, how much does it weigh?
You can get different weights.
Okay.
You can get 5. You can get 2.5, 5 pounds.
Okay, so it's just like a
I'm
weight.
glad you brought that up.
Okay.
A kettlebell is so good. You could do a full workout with a single kettlebell.
Yeah, that was a big reason why we went to arms, legs, full body workout. So, and I'm still biking to work every day. So
That's another huge thing. Here's another thing that I'm trying to do.
What's that?
And again, it's really important because some people just don't like going to the gym. I mean, I actually have to force myself.
Yeah.
But one of the things I'm trying to do is I don't have to find the parking spot that is closest to the front door.
Oh, that's what Lillian's. Oh gosh.
Oh, no. And so I am forcing myself, like, hey, I'm going to go and I'm going to intentionally try to find a parking spot that's going to give me extra steps.
Thank you. By the way, we went to Costco the other day, and she took the first parking spot that was further away, and she says, "Aren't you proud of me?" Yes.
Yes.
Quit trying to get so close.
Yeah, it adds up. It adds up and it adds up. Okay, we do have some text messages. You wanted to avoid it. Okay.
No. I'm just news boss is closed.
Okay, so we're going to bring up Katie Wilson's first executive orders. David in the 206 says that is exactly what is going on in front of your building and was already finished across the lake. Dedicated bus and non-auto lanes. It's awesome. Steve in Seattle says, I don't believe for a moment that she takes Route 8 to work as a mayor. Sounds like Greg Nichols getting his streets plowed first during that big snowstorm. And that was the end of Greg Nichols in terms of, I mean, he did make it for 2 terms, though. Pierce County Sheriff Keith Swank, Brian from Arlington says, just quit and run for public office. Why can't this guy stay in his lane? Does he actually do any sheriff stuff? And Chris in North Bend says, G is right about Keith Swank, unfortunately. Read the bill, though, so everybody understand what they are proposing. When it comes to the Seahawks, let's talk about that. Doug in Mount Vernon says there is more second guessing on the Seahawks than Brady's dating scene. Dude, you got a shout out, Brady.
Completely unexpected on that one, but I appreciate it.
Ursula, it's time for Ursula. What you got?
Okay, I love this. It's a quote from Alex L., who says, it's important to show up for people, offer what you can, be unselfish, love people when they need it, even when you feel they don't deserve it. Be a healer, be kind, show up for people, because when you're hurting, you're going to want someone to show up for you.
Love that. Okay, real quick, let's call it right now. All you got to do is say win or lose, and we'll play this on Monday. The Seahawks will win. Ursula?
The Seahawks are absolutely going to win.
Paul?
The Seahawks will win.
Brady?
Seahawks going to win. 49ers going to have to go back to the mine shafts.
Lori?
Seahawks.
Woo!
All right, we're playing this on
Unanimous.
Monday. We're playing on Monday. All right. We ain't playing that on Monday. Hey, the Jake and Spike Show coming in next. Make sure you guys have a great weekend and cheer on those Seahawks and give stuff to all the 49er fans that you know. Thanks, Ursula.
Thank you.
Thank you, Paul.
Happy
Appreciate
beer.
you, man. Brady, well done, man.
Thanks, sir.
Lori, have a great day. The Jake and Spike Show. Oh, they're coming in next. I'm really cooked. Appreciate you for listening. Love you for that. And as always, be kind.
Hope you have as much fun as we have. So long, everybody.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan. Presented by Carter Subaru.
More like Choke Point. The new year brings a big new headache for the thousands of you commuting south on I-5 into Seattle. The latest phase of Revive I-5 is underway, and it won't be finished anytime soon. I've got you covered with traffic on the 3s every morning from 6 to 9 on Seattle's Morning News. Nate Connors has you covered every afternoon. We're always hunting for alternate routes, and we'll help you get where you need to be a little faster. On KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Breast cancer is a tough battle for anyone to fight. But when you can't work, care for your kids, or even put food on the table, that diagnosis can be devastating. I'm Dr. Suzette Miranda, a plastic surgeon who is proud to support Northwest Hope and Healing. Our mission is to provide a lifeline for breast and gynecologic cancer patients. We cover essentials like food, utilities, and childcare, so patients can focus on healing. For more than 25 years, Northwest Hope and Healing has distributed over $3 million to thousands of local cancer patients, and you can help make a difference in our community. Join us on Saturday, January 31st for Cork, Fork, and Support. An afternoon of fine wine, gourmet cuisine, and inspiration at Mary Hill Winery in the heart of Woodinville wine country. Get your tickets now for Cork, Fork, and Support on January 31st. Go to nwhopeandhealing.org to learn more. That's nwhopeandhealing.org.
John Curley here. You know that moment when your house feels colder than it should? You turn up the thermostat and nothing? For over a decade, I've trusted the team at Home Comfort Alliance. They show up when they say they will, and they get straight to work, and they do it right. They've been keeping homes comfortable for over 40 winters. Remember, for all your heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical needs, including standby generators, call the Comfort People, Home Comfort Alliance, or visit homecomfortalliance.com.
Guys, low energy, low drive, or strength not what it used to be? For many men, it's low testosterone. At Revive Men's Health Washington, start with a free T-check exam and consultation to get real answers. And this month only, qualified patients may receive 25% off testosterone replacement therapy. Call 206-529-1111 or visit revivemenshealth.com. Terms apply. Must medically qualify.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
I remember brushing my hair and looking down and thinking, oh my gosh, do I have any hair left?
I used to look at women with thick, beautiful hair and think, why doesn't my hair look like that?
My thinning hair is making me feel so old.
If you want thick, healthy, gorgeous hair, then you need Hair Volume from New Nordic. With clinically proven ingredients like apple extract, biotin, and millet, Hair Volume nourishes your hair follicles to promote thicker, healthier-looking hair. Say goodbye to shedding, thin, and dull hair, and hello to thick, healthy hair with Hair Volume.
Since taking Hair Volume, the shedding has all but stopped.
Now, instead of being jealous of other women's hair, I have friends who are jealous of mine.
My hairdresser couldn't believe the difference in my hair. Now she's using Hair Volume too.
Available as a tablet or delicious gummy, Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and NewNordicUSA.com, or find Hair Volume in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
Start the new year taking active liver supplements from New Nordic. Online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com, or at CVS, ShopRite, Meijer Grocery, or Wegmans.
Attention! Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-885-8877. 800-885-8877. Again, that's 800-885-8877.